person.
Yep.
The matches have already started. We're a bit slow to it. We're going to jump straight into the matches. You can find out more information on Twitter. Follow Age of Sigmar 6 Nations. Table 1. We've talked about this already. 4 Mega Gargants being run by Jonas.
Yep.
Jonas has previously been on the stream at Kriegs Luntan. He's a great guy. He's running those 4 Megas. He's got an Amulet of Destiny on one of the 4 Megas.
Does.
And he's up against Solomon. With his Vycross Dynasty.
He's got Prince Vordry, Manfred, Belladama, a Necromancer, loads of dogs, some Graveguard, some other stuff, some zombies. There you go.
Yeah, 100%. Right, that's what they've got. And it's going to be very difficult for Solomon because he probably doesn't have the output to deal with the Megas. He's already been really bold. Top right-hand corner, as you can see. And he's thrown out that Vampire Lord on Zombie Dragon into the mix. Is that going to make sense? I don't know. Table 2, it's pretty much done. Is it? Is it not? Dennis versus Chris in this particular matchup. What? Talk to me about.
So this list, these both players are running Luminous Realm Lords.
Yep.
Okay, and it was essentially whoever went first shot with their Sentinels.
Yep.
And one player has gone first, shot with their Sentinels, and killed all the other Sentinels.
Yep.
So now they don't have any Sentinels. So Dennis has got, just to catch up, he had a Helon Nation. He's got a Helon Nation, Scenario Lore Seeker, Venari Lord Regent, Severith, 10 Wardens. Guess what? 30 Sentinels.
30 Sentinels.
And then 2 Hurricane Wind Spirits and Emerald Life Swarm. And then he is playing against Chris, who is also playing Lumineth, but he's got he has got Zytrek, Techless this time. 10 Wardens. Guess what? 30 Sentinels.
30 Sentinels, yeah.
And a Venari Starshard Ballista.
Well, so do we know which one? Who is Dennis or Chris? Which one's is Dennis? Who shot with the Sentinels and who lost the Sentinels?
It looks
Sweden. So Dennis, Sweden has lifted up the Lumineth for Team Northern
wow,
Ireland.
and you can see already that Dennis's 3 foxes are just in the middle where the Sentinels were.
It's all over. Good, clean Age of Sigmar.
This is how Age of Sigmar should be played.
Should be out. Turn
20
one,
minutes.
Let's go. The 3 foxes, of course, because he's got the 2 wind spirits. Don't forget that red hot sand.
The red hot sand.
The red hot sand of those
I feel
foxes.
like the Sentinels needed some of that sand.
They needed to protect him, give him a ward save. So this is all over. I can't say I'm sad about it, but whoa, baby.
You never know.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. So that game's basically done because he's lost the 30 Sentinels. What about his wind spirits, like the opposing wind spirits?
It was a Techless.
Oh, this is a Techless build.
It's a Techless build.
Who's over here?
Yeah.
Okay, amazing. All right, so Techless is in the top right-hand corner.
All on his own.
All on his
Good
own.
guys.
The Starshard Ballista. Excuse me.
Where are the Sentinels gone?
Need those.
Yeah, can't he need them?
Kind of need those. And then he's in the mix against the Wardens at the back. So amazing round 1.
So basically, to recap, 13 Sentinels, shot 30 Sentinels, lifted the 30 Sentinels, and the 30 Sentinels won.
Is that Little Chris?
No,
it's not. No. Okay, all right. Wow, that's crazy. Okay, excellent Warhammer. So that's game 2. Probably won't be coming back to that much.
No. Maybe later when we get the score. So 10 minutes.
Yeah, that'll be one. It's over. Yeah, it's over. So I mean, it's not over, but turn 1. Just so you be aware, the big 500-point piece here has shot the other big 500-point piece. Normally, what Techless does, he just buffs the 500-point piece that's here.
But he hasn't had a chance to do that yet.
He hasn't had that, so that unit's gone. He's not going to rally them either. He doesn't have any way now of dealing with the other 500-point piece. Yeah, the Wind Spirit's in amongst it. The Wardens, 2 tens of Wardens are pretty good in a fight, but they're not good against the rest of this army. And those Sentinels are just going to, over the next 2 turns, delete this stuff. So that's what we mean by it's over, basically.
Yeah.
Wait, is that Chris Archibald, Chris?
Yeah.
Archie lost his Sentinels turn 1.
Yeah. He was saying how he doesn't have much
my
luck on stream.
Goodness.
He's never won on stream, apparently.
He has never won on stream.
And he's keeping that going.
He's keeping that really going. That is very impressive. Okay, excellent. Okay, so that's that game. Game number on table 3, we've got a really exciting match between Andy Curry. No, that's wrong. We're just going to get table 3's overlay updated in a moment. And on table 4, we do have, still pretty wonky,
They must have knocked that again.
we've got Liara Pamnor versus Dave Kane. Now, some amazing things are happening in this game, not just the camera angle, in that Liara is actually the current Swedish champion for Age of Sigmar.
Okay.
Not only do we have a lady on the stream, she's the Swedish champ.
Amazing.
Right? Amazing. She's up against Dave Kane, who's previously been the Northern Irish master as well. So a real showdown between these two players. Liara is running a Hagnar Daughters of Kane list. Tell me about it.
She's got a Bloodrack Shrine. She's got the Hag Queen on Cauldron of Blood, Marathi Kane, Malusite Iron Scale, 15 Bloodstalkers, so we've got Marathi and the Bow Snakes, 5 Blood Sisters, 10 Witch Elves, and that's it.
Right, so interesting thing about oh no, I don't have it on. I don't have it to press.
So Jimmy, I'll quickly run through Dave's list.
Please.
So David Kane, he is running a KO list. So Barak Nar, he's got Arcanaut Admiral, Aether Chemist, Endrin Master with Endrin Harness, 10 Thunderers, 5 Thunderers, 5 Thunders for his battle line. Then he's got a Gun Hauler, 6 Prosecutors with Storm Call Javelins, an Arcanaut Ironclad, and an Arcanaut Frigate.
Well, truthfully, no one really is ever sure what Dave does, and we're seeing this. So I just wanted to show something really quickly. So actually, Liara is running Daughters of Kane, and she's running Hagnar. Now, generally, a lot of people like to be quite fun, and they like to normally mess around with Calibron, but Calibron's actually at a 48% win rate globally in the stats. If you actually look, Hagnar is sat on a 63% win rate. They just do better, and so it's unsurprising to see someone of Liara's talent playing at that level, understand that Hagnar is really the better choice in Daughters of Kane.
Hagnar, Keltnar are the 2 best factions in Daughters of Kane at the moment. Easily.
Yeah. Okay, so so Liara's moved forward pretty aggressively. Like, Marathi's holding this objective. This is our only game that isn't this is tooth and nail.
Yes.
This is our only battle plan that's tooth and nail. And how's that work?
So tooth and nail is, first of all, there's no reserves in this. There's also the special rule for fatigued warriors, so any summoned units cannot shoot or charge in a turn which they were added to your army. But there's no summoned units in either of these armies, so that's not going to affect them. You score victory points. You score 1 victory point if you control at least 1, score 2 if you control 2, and score 3 if you control more than your opponent. And you get your battle tactic as well. So it's a nice, simple, basically hold 1, hold 2, hold more.
Yeah, so it'll be really interesting in a minute to find out why we saw the mirror paired. We got an interview coming soon with the coaches for Sweden and Northern Ireland. Don't forget, obviously, of course, this is only 4 matches of 8 games that we've going on between this match, which is quite interesting. So it'll be exciting to see, to hear from those guys as soon as we can, ultimately. Back to table 1. And we're already in the mix. As you can see, priority roll, I think, on table 1 has been won.
I think this is just Jonas's first turn. Because Solomon went first, through the Vordry up here, and then in Jonas's turn, he's bought the 3 Mega Gunks that were here and just shoved them towards Vordry to try and deal with him, because he's the real output for the Vycross list.
Yep.
And then you've also got this Gargant coming down to start taking objectives. And again, it's really important in this match, the battle plan, because if you have a battle line unit on one of the objectives, only battle line units can take it off you.
Yes.
All those Gargants, they're all battle line.
Yeah, they are. They are. Right, so just to let everyone know how the current round is looking, basically. Last round, we had Sweden versus England, and off the back of that, England capped the round. So currently they've got a cap round. You had Scotland versus Ireland. Wait, is that right? Yeah. You had Scotland versus Ireland, and Ireland capped the round. And then you had Northern Ireland versus it
was Scotland versus Wales, and then Wales got a cap in that. Northern Ireland was playing Ireland, and Northern Ireland capped it. And then England were playing Sweden, and England capped that round. So you've got 3 of the big dog teams that we were saying were going to be the front runners of this tournament, all capped their first round.
Yes, of course. Yeah, you have the returning champions in England, and then you had the bookies. You had the bookies' choice, Northern Ireland and Wales looking to play against each other. So that's going to be really exciting to see. Right, back to table 3. We don't have what the overlay is saying. We don't have Andy versus Alex.
No, we don't.
We don't. What we actually have is we have Pete's Nurgle.
We do. So we've got Pete's Nurgle, which is Munificent Wanderers. He's got Lord of Affliction, Great Unclean One, Slopsy Piper, Spoilpot Scrivener, 20 Plague Bearers, 20 Plague Bearers, 20 Plague Bearers, 4 Puscoil Blight Lords, and then 2 units of 9 Untamed Beasts. So it's a fairly interesting list. Do you Munificent Wanderers, if you hit them on a 1 to hit,
you take more
a mortal wound.
You do. They're up against the Swedish Thunder Lizard list.
So this is a run by Adam. It's a Slan, Starmaster, Engine of the Gods, Skink Priest, Stegodon, 2 Salamanders, 1 Salamanders, and a Bastillodon with Solar Engine. So there's a lot of output from this list, and Thunder Lizards have been really showing recently that they have got play. Especially
because of the that Sky Streak bow that you see in that bottom left-hand corner. 24-inch range, and they move 8 inches. But it's 3 attacks, 3 threes, rend 1, damage 3, and it has 3 of them in the list. So basically, potentially 27 damage at range.
It's not just 27 damage at range, though, because you add another 9 to that, because they can shoot twice.
They can. So
one can shoot twice.
Yeah, you can make one of these guys shoot twice in Thunder Lizard. Now, you're probably going to make the Bastillodon shoot twice, because
he's got 9 shots from that, so you get 18 shots from that. But I think in certain situations, you might throw it on a Stegodon, because he's going to be getting that rend on the attacks. So I don't think the Stegodon's got or the Bastillodon's got rend on his shot. So maybe into the Plague Bearers, you might want to have that rend for that extra damage.
Yeah, but it's going to be pretty useful. The Plague Bearers are going to be really good, but this is going to be a very interesting match because there's a lot of shooting coming back from the Thunder Lizard list constantly to chip away. There's also a lot of healing, though, available to Pete with his list.
But it's also from the Nurgle, there's a lot of anti-shooting tech, so the Plague Bearers are just always -1 to hit. Yeah. Regardless, because as long as they're over 10 models, they're -1 to hit. Obviously, all the characters, if they've all got Lookout Sir.
They have.
And then they've also... the whole army's disgustingly resilient. So it's 5-up ward save, obviously, except for those Untamed Beasts.
Yeah, and they're going to die pretty quick.
Yeah, but they're just for screens, right?
Just for screens. They are. So, yeah, there's lots to play for between all of these different teams. Don't forget, these are 4 matches out of 4. Just to return to our Sentinel game here and see what happened. We did lose one of our Foxes in the combat phase going into the back here. But how do you feel this game is going to go now?
Yeah, I think without the 30 Sentinels, so without Archie's 30 Sentinels, I think he's really going to struggle. So Dennis is a real dominant position now. He's really gone into that driving seat straight away, taking that first turn. But apparently there is 1 Sentinel left. So there's 1 Sentinel left, which means Rally is a possibility. So he's going to be rolling 29 dice every 6. Every 6 on those dice, 1 Sentinel comes back. And I'm also pretty sure he's got Life Swarm in that list. So there's actually a chance that those Sentinels could come back quite quickly, which means we could see an Archie comeback.
We could see an Archie comeback. I'm not sure
We're just talking
how.
about the... so there's 1 Sentinel left, which opens up Rally and Life Swarm.
Okay.
So theoretically, next turn, 29 dice. Every 6.
Wait, we've got 1 Sentinel
left.
1
Sentinel left.
Oh, is in combat, though? It happens at the start of the hero phase, so he needs to get out of combat. He needs to get out. No, he's dead because he gets out of combat. Okay, he needs to get out of combat and... No, because in the shooting phase...
There's a possibility.
There's the slimmest chance. He's going to retreat, and then the Wind Spirit's going to move over him in the following shooting phase and murder him.
I've got a better idea. So all you do, right... is if you take the turn, so you take your turn, you use the teleport spell from Teclis on that 1 Sentinel, put him in the corner of the board, right?
Yeah.
And then you win the priority, okay?
Okay.
Then you use the 29, so you use Rally, and Life Swarm, bring all back. Then your opponent's turn, you rally again, win.
Okay.
Easy.
All right, never tell me the odds. Okay, fine. All right, okay, I'm willing to listen to that. As you can see, the Vampire Lord Zombie Dragon has gone in the top left-hand corner.
So the Gargants have just charged him. So Jonas has just charged into the Vordrai, but it doesn't look like he managed to kill him. It doesn't actually look like he did a lot to him, because Vordrai is actually really tanky, especially into Gargants, because those Gargants, they don't have any mortal wounds, and Vordrai can be on a 2-up, ignoring 1 rend save. So he's going to be taking those wounds. He's also got a 6-up after save, and once a game, he's going to be doing that D6 heal.
But isn't that a Vampire Lord, not a Vordrai?
I thought it was Vordrai.
I think it's a Vampire Lord.
Okay, well, he's still just everything I said is applicable except for the D6 heal.
Yeah, apart
There
from
you
that,
go.
yeah. I would say it's going to be interesting because actually I don't think Solomon has got the attack profile he needs from this Soulblight Gravelords list,
No.
which is why I think this is a far more dynamic list. It's a lot more interesting than singles. It doesn't play so singularly as we see some of the other lists. But I do think maybe like the list that we see on Greg's for Team Wales, that Greg's running for Team Wales, is far better.
It's just an incredible list.
Yeah, like it's much better. So that would be Nagash, a Vengori Lord, and then Manfred. So I think that's more likely to do well over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
And would do really well into the Gargant matchup.
Yeah.
Would do super well because of the debuffs it gives. That's -1 to wound aura. It's also got the reducing rem by 1 aura, so it does make them more tanky. But whether or not we see anyone survive here will...
To be honest, I genuinely don't think it really matters anyway, because all that Jonas has got to do is hold this one, and this objective, and Solomon will never take them off them, and take one objective. As soon as he takes one, burn it straight away, walk back, and just hold.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've just got an update from a table to us. We'll try and rehear that what that was. Thanks very much. Okay, is that on table 2? Oh, okay. So we've just heard. So we've just heard that priority has been won by Soulblight.
Yep.
On this table here, and they've decided to take the turn.
Okay.
Okay. So they've got the turn right now, and we'll see what they decide to do with that.
So they've just gone for monstrous takeover, which should basically be probably just Manfred sitting on this objective down here to take that, because I don't see him taking any of these 3. There's no way, especially because Jonas is running Taker Tribe.
Yep.
So all of those Gargants counting as 35 on objectives, or 30?
30.
30 on objectives. So I'd love to say Solomon can kill the Gargants. I just don't see it at the moment.
I would like to say that as well, but I'm with you. I don't see how he does that, and I don't see what his play is here either. Because deciding to do monstrous takeover means all he's going to do is score his battle tactic, which means Manfred isn't even a part of this fight.
Yeah,
he's not even throwing him in. Which maybe having him in there and then he gets counter charge feels a bit. But
I think the play there is actually what you should be doing with Manfred is actually charging him in, and then using Manfred's ability to then teleport him over here. So then he's over here, which means that this Gargant can't come into here because he's got to come back and take the objective back.
Yeah.
So he has to stay there to take the objective.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Interesting. It's going to be a very interesting match to see how this goes. We'll just go back to table 3 and see if... okay. No dramas. See if our overlay is updated yet, but not quite. But this is Pete with his Nurgle Force versus someone else, and we're going to see what...
Adam.
Yeah, we'll see if any shooting came in from the Stegodons. I assume that we will have seen some shooting come in, but it would be really nice to know what we saw that shooting hit.
It looks like the Blight Lords are going up and trying to take out some Stegodons. The Blight Lords aren't actually too bad in a fight. They're fairly...
so the Puscoil Blight Lords.
Yeah, the Puscoil Blight Lords. They're not the ones with the Plague Bearers. They're the ones with the mortal guys on top. So they're not too bad in a fight. They're fairly quick as well. So if he has the tree there, they can run in charge. But I'll just quickly run through their profile. They are rocking. They've got a cheeky shooting attack as well.
The Death Head attack.
Yeah, so they've got the Death Head attack, which is Puscoil Blight Lords. So the blighted weapons. So they don't have a shooting attack actually, sorry. But they've got blighted weapons, which is 3 attacks each, 3s, no rend, 1 damage, but 6s explode into d6 hits. They've got the Dolorous Toxins, which is 1 attack, 4s, 3s, rend 2, 2 damage, which is pretty good. 2 attacks from the mouth parts, 3s, no rend, 1 damage, and a Venomous Sing, which is 4s, 3s, rend 1, d3 damage. So if you bash an all-out attack on them, they're going down to 2s, 3s, 2s, 3s, which is a pretty good profile. And there's other ways to buff them up from the other support characters as well.
Okay, great. Well, so we heard in the shooting phase that we lost a Sportsbox Scrivener and a Sloppity Bilepiper from the shooting coming in from Sweden at the top.
That's really big.
That's very, very good. Yeah, it's very good. So that's done some pretty solid work into them. So yeah, like I think it's gonna not help with the Plague Bearer bricks because they're going to be really useful for maybe holding up. But it's a bit like the shark conversation, right? Like, yeah, the damage output that you see coming from the combat's going to be pretty serious, but so is the damage output that you're going to see coming from the rest of the shooting. So, like, Pete has to really respect that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think losing the Scrivener is a massive thing. Losing the Bilepiper is also huge because the Biopipe is a really pivotal piece for the Nurgle at the moment. He's got that 14-inch aura of any units in it you can't pile in towards.
Yep.
And he can also give mortal wounds. He can also do some other bits and pieces. But you've got the Scrivener's a massive loss as well because it stops that +1 attack.
Yep.
And I think it stops the... Oh, what else has he got? There's something else. But he's got the +1 and the Rend. So it stops the Plague Bearers having Rend, which is going to be really important into the Stegodons.
So mortal wounds coming out of the Sports Box Soptic Barpiper and also Sports Box
coupled with the Rend from the... It's just a really big loss.
But those Pusgoyle Blightlords could do some really solid work going into... is this not Plague Drones? No, is it Pusgoyle Blightlords?
No, they are the Pusgoyle Blightlords, yeah.
Wow, okay. Okay, that's really exciting. It would be... Because I'm interested to see if he's going to go put those into...
I don't see them doing a lot because they don't have a lot of Rend. So they've only got one Rend 2 attack. And if the Stegodon goes for a... all-out defense, then he's just not going to be able to get a lot through.
No, I agree. It'd be interesting to know. So we on table 2, the Comeback King, Archie himself. So we've just heard he's cast a bunch of spells from Teclis. We'll find out exactly which spell it was again very quickly. But I think I heard that he did 19. He took out 19 Sentinels.
Good effort.
I'm going to get that double. Burning Moon. Okay. But he took out a bunch of Sentinels at range, apparently, is what we're doing. And this is the Teclis that we now see over here.
Yeah, we're supposed to he's done Speed of Heish on himself.
Yep. And
just absolutely launching forward because he's a 12-inch move, so it'll be a 24-inch move. Just maybe with a run as well. So he's fairly speedy if you get Speed of Heish on Teclis. And I think you just you use Teclis now just to bully. Most people play Teclis defensively. Unfortunately for Archie, he doesn't have that option.
No,
he does not. Aggressive. He has to be aggressive now.
Yeah, he does, and he has to be very aggressive. And it's quite nice to see because normally you see Teclis played so defensively.
Yeah.
That he doesn't really it doesn't bring much to the table. I don't think I ever see Teclis. I think Teclis is always to play terribly because I think it's terrible.
Everybody's so scared of losing Teclis that they they don't see the benefit from actually throwing him forward.
Which means just your whole army just moves forward very slowly, right?
Yeah.
So. But it'll be interesting to see what Dennis is doing because Dennis, as you can see here, is pushing his Wind Spirits over these Wardens, giving them some issues. But doesn't that make them within charge range?
It does. Yeah. Yeah, but he might just be wanting to pop some extra mortal wounds. Because if you do a 2-up, do you do 3 mortal wounds when you move over?
So I'm not 100% certain. Actually, let's take a look. So Severith has got the ability to do mortal wounds as he flies over people because of the searing desert winds.
Yep.
He has windy sand that's warm.
The windy sands.
The windy sand. However, if you look at the normal Hurricane Spirit of the Wind, they don't have the searing sand, so they don't do the mortal wounds when they fly over people. They still have got a pretty amazing attack profile and a shooting attack from the Bow of the Wind's Vengeance. But was not... I don't think they have that, so there we go. It's just on Severith, I'm pretty certain.
Oh, so the Wind Spirit is when it's in combat instead?
Yes, does D3 mortal wounds in combat, as we've just heard that Teclis tried to charge in this particular match as well, and I don't think he was able to get where he needed to be.
Oh, did he not able to get where he needs to be?
No, he failed the charge, basically. Right, so table 3, as you can see, we're just waiting for these Pusgoyle Blightlords to potentially charge into the Stegodons in the top. Now, that's going to be pretty important. The key point here is that, of course, the damage going into these is reduced by 1 because we're against Thunder Lizard.
Yeah.
Thunder Lizard reduced the damage going in by 1, and so it's going to be really difficult, I think, for Pete to lift these up, these Stegodons, even though, actually, they're not as tanky as you would necessarily think because they've only got 10 wounds on that 4-up save. So they die. Like, you would normally think those monsters would have, like, 12 wounds, but only actually 10. Which is actually pretty surprising, which is maybe why I'm not certain if this is the truth, but like the Seraphon like win rate is actually like just sat around 51%. It's pretty like medium. Like Draco's Tail does very, very well, as you can see at the top, but the Thunder Lizard list is not quite as, but like doesn't do quite as well as the Draco's Tail list at the moment with Fangs of Sotek, which there is one Fangs of Sotek list here.
There is, yep. Run by Darren.
Yeah, not being quite as competitive. So it'll be seen. This seems like a perfect matchup for Adam. He's got the Bastiladon going into demons. Like he's happy. This is exactly what he wants. So I think it'll be fine. But and also the Plague Bearers with the mortal wounds. But I think Adam's played an amazing first turn and taken out the Scrivener, taken out the Sloppity Barpiper, because really he's just made it so that Adam. Oh no, Adam has made it so that Pete isn't going to get all those mortal wounds off on those Plague Bearers.
Yeah, which is really, really important.
Yeah.
And it's also, I think, Adam's in a nice position because all those Stegodons battle line again, and because of the nature of this mission, if you have a battle line unit on an objective, only other battle line units can take it off of you.
Yes.
So to actually take the objectives, it wouldn't surprise me if Pete's going to have to kill the Stegodons, just take one. So he won't be able to leave it. And he just put more models on there. He's going to have to kill them.
And of course, there's those terrifying salamanders, like body blocked in the middle there, and they can come to bear. And honestly, if they are able to take out the Pusgoyle Blight Lords, a lot of like Pete's movement will be reduced pretty significantly. So there's a very interesting match lined up on that one. On table 4, Dave, we just get an update from our table boss about this one because we haven't heard much about it. So it would be good to know where we're at.
This is a fairly complicated matchup as well, because you've obviously got the Marathi and the Bow Snakes that you normally see, but I have almost no idea what Dave's army is wanting to do here. But it looks like Dave's managed to kill quite a lot of the Bow Snakes here. And if he can continue getting out that damage, he could potentially kill the 15 Bow Snakes turn 1, which would be a massive impact into the Daughter's Khaine army. Yeah,
okay. So I think we've heard that we're just in the first... We're still... We're just getting an update. So someone is killing someone, but like unit names, table boss.
So it's talking about the Bloodstalkers. So Dave has currently killed 6 Bloodstalkers, and we're still in turn 1.
Excellent.
And then we're going on from that. So the Bloodstalkers are now fighting back.
So these are the Bloodstalkers here.
Yep.
And then of course we've seen the boats fly high, drop down.
Yep.
And then engage into the Bloodstalkers.
They've just charged in as well. So this boat's in combat here, and it's the Bloodstalkers that are fighting back now.
Yes. Yeah, okay.
But 6 Bloodstalkers already down.
That's pretty impressive.
Yeah. So
that's really
if Dave
important.
gets the priority here, he could potentially use all of this output to just absolutely nuke these guys, and then maybe just try and chip the 3 wounds off Marathi, and then almost leave Marathi on her own.
Okay, yeah. Like, I mean... Yeah, so Catechism of Murder? No, maybe. Fanatical Faith.
So Blessings of Khaine is cast, has been chanted onto the Bloodstalkers, which means they're getting a reroll Fanatical Faith save.
Yes, of course. Yeah, so that should help. But that's only against mortals now, is it not?
No, so that's the Hagnar ability. So the Hagnar ability is against everything other than mortals, I believe. So you get the +1 save, or the +1 Fanatical Faith roll against everything other than mortals. But so she's getting those Bloodstalkers are potentially on a 5-up re-rolling DPR save.
Yeah,
which is astounding. And to kill 6 of those, that means that Dave's army has got a lot of output.
Yeah, he has.
Because don't forget, there's 2 wounds each as well.
They are 2 wounds each, yeah. So it's 12 wounds he's done in total. But Dave has got like a lot of output in this list.
Yeah.
We'll see whether or not. Now he's done everything in combat. Like I think the important point also is he won't be able to rally because they're in combat. So that's pretty key. Oh, sorry. Liara won't be able to. She won't be able to rally. Her models because she's in combat, and then also. She's not going to get to choose to shoot what she wants to shoot, and instead she's only going to get to shoot into the KO.
Yeah,
which
definitely.
is quite interesting.
I think it's interesting how Liara's actually play this mission, because a lot of people, when they play Marathi and the Bow Snakes sit back here, you screen them off, and then Marathi goes in on her own. But Liara's actually chosen to throw the Bloodstalkers forward with the Cauldrons behind, because those Cauldrons, especially this one here, is the General, which is the one with the Hagnar command trait, which means everything within this sort of bubble is getting that +1 save. So instead of screening the Bloodstalkers, she's actually elected to like throw them out and actually go for the objectives instead. So I think it's actually quite an interesting way to play this list instead of how you normally see it.
Yeah, yeah, it's a lot more aggressive than you would normally see.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
they don't. That's kind of why I was a bit like at the start. I was like, where are we with this game? Because I don't know how they've ended up there.
Yeah. I think it's just been super aggro with it. Because don't forget that 2 for 0 is a weird deployment though. So you sort of deploy in this sort of way anyway. So actually the Bloodstalkers have only moved probably to here.
Yeah.
So it's not like they've gone all the way down like that, because that would be brave.
That would be very brave. That'd be very brave. And look, she hasn't lost the unit, which I think is fairly important. And like you say, Blood Shield's also coming off the Cauldron of Blood, so that's also given +1 save, so making a little bit more tanky as well.
So essentially on a 4-up, 5-up.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting because then I guess you leave Marathi away, but Marathi's got so many options. There's so many ways for Dave to pick out Marathi. So many shots available to him, so he's got lots of
But I think this was the right play with Marathi, because you don't want to throw Marathi in turn 1, because if you throw Marathi in turn 1, this stuff just starts unleashing hell on you, and then you take those wounds. So like I was talking about last game, when Alex threw Marathi in straight away, and he lost those 3 wounds, and then Marathi was really struggling. So I think this is the better way to play Marathi. Save her for late game, because then they can't do anything about her.
Yeah. So we just heard that Daughters of Cain have won the priority role going into turn 2.
Okay.
So that's going to be very, very important. But most importantly, Dave's battle tactic was to kill a unit of Witch Elves.
Oh, nice and easy, right?
And Dave did not achieve it. He unfortunately took the unit down to only 1 Witch Elf left, but that Witch Elf lived, meaning that Liara was able to deny Dave one of his...
That's huge in this mission, because this mission is a score 1, score 2, score more mission. So those battle tactics really come into effect, because for the primary you're only scoring 3 points. Those battle tactics worth 2 and 3 points.
Yeah.
So they're essentially the same as a primary score in this mission. So failing a battle tactic could be the loss of a game. It could also be loss of the points because of the scoring matrix.
Yep. Yeah, well, it's a good opportunity to bring up the Matrix and have a quick talk about it, is it? Excellent work there. Adam, talk to me about this.
So scoring matrix, this event here, we've seen it done a lot in a lot of tournaments at the moment, but this one is slightly different. So this one has a 4-point swing, but each player, if you win, you start at 15. If you lose, you start at 5. For every 4-point difference, you either gain 1 or lose 1. So if you win the game by 20 plus points, that's how you score the maximum 20-0. But most games we're seeing finish in this sort of bracket here. So that 8-11 point difference to 12-15 difference. So we've seen a lot of 17, sorry, that's wrong. I mean the 4-7 to 8-11 difference. So you get a lot of 17 threes or a lot of 16 fours. Now it's really interesting because of the fact that Dave has lost those 2 points by not killing the Witch Elf, which is looks like just up here. So by not killing that Witch Elf, he's going to potentially stop himself from scoring an additional victory point for his team, which could be the difference between a podium, winning the event, or finishing higher. But I'm really interested to see how Liara is actually going to play her turn, because these Bloodstalkers, although they didn't die, they are now they're stuck in combat with that Ironclad. So that frigate, I think it is. So that frigate is going to be blocking those Bloodstalkers. The Bloodstalkers now have to shoot the frigate, and they probably don't do a lot to a frigate, to be honest. So on table 3, they've just it looks like that we're measuring the shooting again.
Well, we've just heard that priority has been won on table 2.
Okay.
Yeah, so Seraphon have won the priority on table 2, and they are absolutely over the moon about that.
I can imagine.
Yeah, of course, of course. In the combat, sorry, this is on table 3. Yeah, on table 3. In the combat, we saw the Puskor Blightlords do 7 damage to one of the Stegodons, but not kill one.
Okay,
which I think they're going to be a little bit disappointed about. Not doing that.
5 wounds left, right?
5 wounds left.
+2 for the Thunder Lizard, yeah?
Because normally it's 2, but yeah, you're right. It's +2 for Thunder Lizard, thanks to all my Blizzard bros in the chat. I think it's looking okay for Adam. Adam's taken out some of the key synergies that we've got here.
Yeah.
Right, and then we've got a bunch of shooting about to come in. These salamanders now are in range to come here, which means he doesn't have to focus too much with this long-range shooting and can pop that absolutely anywhere he wants to on the board. The kind of key question is where, but I think Pete's in a real tough spot against this matchup. This feels like Sweden has paired really nicely for this particular round.
Yeah, Sweden's paired really nicely. It looks like across the board, to be honest, or at least for what we're seeing, because this matchup looks really favourable. I think they got a little bit lucky in the Lumineth matchup, but that was like a 50-50. Whoever won the roll-off to see who deployed first was going to win that game.
I just saw Archie a second ago. He said, what an awful experience.
So what happened to Archie again? Just so everyone knows.
Just so everyone knows, he lost 30 Sentinels against. He lost 29 Sentinels to his opponent's 29 Sentinels, 30 Sentinels, and it's very fun little game. Right, just catch up with everything else that's happening. So Liara's game versus Dave. Our table boss actually had to update me a second ago what's happening with this.
Okay.
He said even he's not sure. He said it's so dynamic and it's so all over the place, which is true, because when you are playing KO, don't forget, they've got the ability to just drop off the board and redeploy anywhere outside 9 inches, called Fly High ability. And they do that quite often. But we know that Liara has won the priority into turn 2. I'm pretty
she
certain.
has.
Yeah.
So those Bloodstalkers, I was just saying earlier that if the Bloodstalkers, although they're alive, they can now only shoot into the Arcanaut frigate.
Yeah.
So they're kind of stuck, and they're not going to do a lot into a frigate.
No. I think it's quite interesting what Dave's doing. Dave, I think, will be very comfortable playing into this. But I'm kind of second guessing any thoughts I have about this match. Number one, because Liara's playing her Daughters of Cain in a way I've not seen someone play it before.
Yeah.
And also Dave's playing KO. KO not sat at the best win rate at the minute, 45%.
But Dave's been playing KO for a while, isn't he?
A long time. He's the Admiral. He's got the beard. He's got the whole business. So he knows what he's about, and whether or not he is able to pull out this game, KO is one of those mystifying armies that if you play them, you know them, but if you don't play them, they're just challenging, right? They just do things you don't expect. Okay, over on table 1, and look, the Gargants are in. Jonas.
Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
And look who's run away. He's got the zombie dragon.
Vampire
Lord on zombie dragon has charged forward, gone into a Gargant, realised he can't win the fight, and has now run away over here. And it looks like he's only actually on 4 wounds left.
Yeah. He's not in a good spot there at all. We just heard on table 2 that we got Slay the Warlord was just done. So Dennis for Sweden has just gone and got Slay the Warlord off Archie there. So he's not going to be happy about that at all.
Wow.
That long range shooting, so useful also for achieving battle tactics.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, all right. So I think we're about to get a interview in a moment right now, which is pretty exciting. Our first interview at the Age of Sigmar 6 Nations. Don't forget, it's a team event, and some of these teams have got coaches. So
okay.
So we're going to go over now and find out how the Northern Irish coach felt about this matchup. Over to Matt, our table boss.
Hello, lads. So I'm here with the Northern Irish captain. How are you feeling, coach? Sorry. Problematic term. So how are you finding the event so far?
Great event. I was here last time I was in Cardiff, the old Firestorm games, and this shop and venue's pretty good. And Owen and Dan and everybody else, us Wargamer guys, just been great setting up. And all the players have been really dead on. A lot of kind of talking out. This is how my rule works, so everybody's clear. So it's been really good atmosphere, I think. Yeah.
That's what we want to hear. Just don't feed Rob's ego. He doesn't need it. But yeah, apart from that, I agree with everything.
Yeah, drink water.
Of course, yeah, no. Yeah, it's fantastic. We've got to give a shout out to the venue, of course, because it's really amazing. It's been fantastic. Definitely a step up from last time, and last time was pretty good, for sure. So how are you feeling about the matchups and everything so far?
So we played Ireland, which is the weaker version, and we capped them, so that was pretty good. They were out last night, so poor lads. And going against Sweden, we both thought we had good pairings, so it's just kind of on player skill at this point, which is pretty good because it leaves it tight to the end, I think.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think it's always fun when you think you've got good pairings, and you look at your opponents and they also think they've got good pairings, and you're like, oh, someone's wrong here. Like, is it me? Yeah, no, for sure. But a lot of really close games from what I've seen so far.
Yeah, loads of close games. Everything's scoring. It's kind of hard not to score your first couple of battle tactics, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the Swedish lads are great. I love talking to them and all, trying to Learn some bad curse words that my friend told me.
Of course, yeah. How are you finding things like obviously we've got quite unique mechanics, like things like the time out. How, are you finding that useful? Are you finding that like good, just as a thing, or?
Yeah, so just before this, the Swedish guy, he won turn 2 priority against our Angelos player, and he's like, should I take it? Where am I dropping my prime? He used the timeout, I should say, and just kind of talking about what the plan was for that. So makes a big difference, because it helped us carry out a close game into an actual 20-0 against Ireland. Yeah. So it just helps give a different perspective to the player going in, because obviously they're getting tunnel vision into what's in front of them.
No, 100%. I'm just going to go tell Laurie and Mark to move, because they're being annoying. Okay, cool. They're fine. Okay.
Get teaming out of the way.
But yeah, so it was fantastic. Have you got any? So are you confident this round?
I think we're fairly confident. Swedish Age of Sigmar is quite top tier, but as Samuel was mentioning, a few of them are quite new to the Six Nations scene.
Yeah, no, for sure.
So, and it's a different beast here. Every table is a top table game. So I'm hoping the experience that a lot of our guys have kind of wins through, you know.
And who do you think your top player is? Who's your star player?
Well, that's controversial because we're all going to watch this back. But Peter Pratt and Colin Cochran are our 2 defenders list, as in we don't care what you pair into them, they'll probably beat you or take points off you.
Yeah, no,
so,
100%.
And then we have like the magic factor, like David Kane, Chris Jr. and Stephen Mitchell. They 4-1, 5-0 events, so they're just ready to go and take on anybody as well.
So which team are you looking forward to play the most, or have played?
Depending on how the days go, Team England, Game 5. Historically, England does really well at this tournament, and Northern Ireland's right behind them. So if the event plays out as usual, it's going to be down to the wire. That game's going to be the decider. So hopefully it plays out like that and we get a really good match.
And even if you're not on to win, obviously you have to win to stop Team England winning.
Yeah, of course. That's the dream.
That's the given.
Yeah.
Cool. So thanks very much for that. Really appreciate that. Cool. And we'll give it back to the lads in the studio. They're worse looking, but they're fine.
Welcome back to the T-Sports Network. Well done to our infield reporter there. This is really good. Super happy about that. Good. We'll get more coach interviews as time goes on.
Yeah, definitely. They were good.
That was really, really fun. Right, back to our matches and a recap. And I will tell my man about directional microphones next time before we go on to that. Thanks very much, Twitch chat. So, Jonas versus Solomon as a big catch-up. Let's talk about it. Jonas took the first turn. He moved on. He moved his Gargants up into the center as Gargant
Yeah, I went over to this game while the interview was happening, and the Swedish player Jonas doesn't look stressed at all, and Solomon's kind of looking like, what do I do here? And I think the answer is here, hope. Hope and pray.
Yeah, this is going badly for Northern Ireland, this particular match. I've got to say the pairings, they've done really well here. Very different and stark to the game we saw last between Wales and Scotland. Scotland, JP and Andy having a very, very close match, basically coming down to a priority, which I think is really interesting. And we haven't seen the same match here.
No, this is the issue with the almost the meta at the moment, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't build to kill Gargants, this happens to you.
This
exactly
happens.
What's happening right now. You get Gargants thrown in your face, and you just can't deal with it.
And it almost feels like some of your units are basically useless.
Yeah.
You're like, what's the point of this here? I mean, even the Vampire Lord Zombie Dragon is like a 400-point monster, just doesn't survive this interaction with a Mega Gargant. So you've got Manfred here, so maybe he can go around and chip, but it really is unlikely for Solomon.
But I think this is the issue with the list design, right? Because Solomon's not got a single unit that can deal with a Mega Gargant.
Yeah.
And I think if you're building an army right now, you should be building with a Mega Gargant in mind. Do I have at least one unit that can do something to Mega Gargant? And Solomon's army just doesn't have that, unfortunately. And now I'd assume because it's teams, he's thought about that and gone, right, hopefully I won't play Gargants. But I feel like Solomon might have been bust in the pairings.
Yeah, I think also it's quite interesting kind of talking about the can I kill the Gargant, because some of the builds that we're seeing are actually really interesting because they're trying to survive the Gargants. A good one is in Solomon's teammate, Colin Cochran,
Yep.
is actually running that Protector he's running Cities of Sigmar, Halahar, but he's running, and you guys can see the lists in the chat if you guys want to go and check out the list. He's running those 10 Protectors, which are a Stormcast unit, but they've got a 3-up save base. They get an additional +1 save. He can basically have it so they have basically almost a 0-up save, so they're a save of a 2-up, ignoring Ren 2, which means they basically neuter all of that output coming in from Gargants. And I know that in the last round, he actually was fighting 2 Mega Gargants with the 10 Protectors and won that fight. With 51 attacks coming out from the Protectors at Red 2. So actually those Gargants... but
that's the point of having at least that one unit that can deal with them. Colin's got that one unit, whereas I just don't see... There's just nothing in Solomon's army that can do it. So as soon as you got this pairing, it was going to be a Jonas win.
Yeah.
But it's just how much Solomon can lose by.
Yeah.
Because, again, using that matrix, he wants to try and get as low or a higher score, a higher losing score...
As possible. Yeah, agreed. It's very interesting, this particular match. Table two, we've just heard that middle objective here, so that's the one belonging to Northern Ireland at the top. Our man Archie, Chris Archibald himself, has lost his own objective on that. So this is a mission where you burn the objectives.
Yeah, it is.
So you can take them off the board, and he's lost that to those wind spirits. And again, these sentinels that you're seeing at the bottom from Dennis are going to be doing some just prodigious work in helping him push forward. His other wind spirits here, Archie's. Is this Archie's Lord Regent? No, this is Dennis's Lord Regent, who's also run up into the middle.
I love how this wind spirit down here was like up here. It's been over here. And now it's over in the left. Yeah.
Well, we have seen that Slay the Warlord, so that's the Lord Regent here, is actually about to be, has just been chosen as a target for Slay the Warlord. So Archie is looking a bit livid. Don't forget he's got Teclis. Teclis is a monster at the end of the day. Yeah.
He is.
An okay attack profile. Let's just take a look at it.
It's a good profile for attacks.
Yeah, he's got the Sword of Teclis, which is 2 attacks that do D3 damage, and then Kalinar, the mount that he... flies near? I'm not sure.
I wouldn't really even call it a mount. A friend, yeah.
His bird friend.
His buddy.
Yeah, has got 4 attacks that do damage to, or it's either 4 or 6 attacks that do damage too. So, like, it's not bad, but it's definitely not, like, world-ending, truthfully. So, I wouldn't expect Teclis to have the output to maybe even be going in here. And maybe would be worried about going into the Sentinels, but, you know, this version of the Lumineth list that Chris is running, sorry, not that Chris is running, that Dennis is running, is quite telling, actually, because actually this is the same list, kind of, but you change a piece. Do you have Teclis?
Or do you have 3 foxes?
Or do you have 3 foxes and the Lord Regent is the key point. And you also get a Law Seeker a lot of the time as well.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. Okay, so we're just going to go on table 3. And we've just heard that
Northern Ireland
have won the priority going into turn 3, which is actually pretty important. That's on table 1. Sorry, that's on table 1. Northern Ireland have won the turn.
Oh, so not quite as exciting.
Not as exciting because
they've gone for ferocious advance for their battle tactic.
They're going to run some units.
And they're going to run some units at him, and as soon as his turn's over, those 3 Mega Gargants are going to go like this.
Yeah. Whatever Solomon does here is bad news.
Oh, look.
What?
This objective here has been burnt.
Yes, he's lost his objective.
So that objective means that Solomon's only controlling 1, 2, and Jonas still has all 3 of his objectives.
Jonas is not going to lose a model, and he's just going to whitewash this game.
This is just... but at least Solomon... right, has used Rally.
Yeah.
Okay, and he used the heal spell of the heal ability from the Vycross stuff, or from the Soulblight Gravelords, and luckily for him, he's healed 3 Graveguard.
Graveguard are great, but the math on Graveguard is that their damage is phenomenal, but they still don't. But they still don't kill one. They still don't kill one Gargant, and when they get hit back, they're just dead.
It's this issue now. A lot of the Gargant players are starting to clump their Gargants up just like this. So you clump your Gargants up in the middle, and you say, okay, charge your thing in that kills one of us, but now there's 2 or more of us.
Yeah.
And then they womp you back.
Yeah. and you womp you back hard, is the point. Right, table 4, we've just heard one of our frigates have gone down. As you can see, it seems our Ironclad is now out of combat with the bow snakes down here. But it has...
yeah, the Ironclad's died.
what?
So the Ironclad that was
It was
here,
a frigate. It was a
the
frigate.
frigate that was there. So the frigate that was there is now dead, and he's only got the Ironclad left over here.
And these are the Thunderers that are out here. Now, Thunderers are pretty great enough. Are we currently in Liara's turn? Because if we are, that was the end of the shooting phase, I'm pretty certain.
It does look like this. This is the shrine moving up.
Okay, so this is still turn 2. So this
Wow.
is just the end of the shooting phase. And look how aggressive Liara is with this
Liara
army.
is showing us why she's the champion of Sweden.
Wow. Like, this is genuinely fantastic. Like, those cauldrons, normally you see these armies played much more... They play in a big castle.
Yeah, I
They
love
play
this.
defensive. Yeah, this is absolutely wild Warhammer. I'm loving this. This is really fun. Dave will be loving this too. This is super cool. So as you can see, we've got the cauldron in now, and then Marathi's still bopping around, like still available to go wherever.
Threatening and everything as well. With her really long move, she can be going over here. She could be going over here. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see her charge into these prosecutors down here. Just lift those. And it doesn't actually look like Dave has got a lot left. He's got the gun hauler down here, the Ironclad here, and then some Thunderers here.
Well, so the Ironclad is a quarter of the army, and then the Thunderers, if you added in, like,
Yeah.
there's quite a lot. There's a reason that KO aren't overly doing well. Thank you.
Yeah.
At the moment, it's because of maybe how the army plays in 3rd edition. Maybe it's because of the points. We're not sure. But like, there's a lot of output. But Daughters of Cain maybe have just got just as much.
Yeah.
Maybe more. Yeah. Dave be winning. Okay. Hey, Admiral Wills. One of the KO players of note, Admiral Wills, in the chat.
I think this game is still like, I'm not saying. Like, I don't think Liara's just suddenly won this game.
No, not at all. No.
But it's a very interesting game to see how she's playing, and I'd be interested to see what Dave does in his turn.
Yeah, me too. Especially when we could also lose a gun hauler as well.
Yeah.
That Ironclad could comfortably, in my opinion, delete this unit.
Easily.
But that we do have an opportunity for Liara to rally at the start of the next turn.
Yep.
So that unit of bow snakes could actually be rallied
And
up.
also, let's not forget that because of the blood shield from the Hag Queen on Cauldron, they're getting +1 save, so they're on 4+ save.
Yep.
You add all out defense in them, so they're ignoring 1 rend.
Yep.
And then they've also got that 5+ Fanatical Faith save because of the Hagnar ability. And they've got Blessings of Cain up, so re-rolling the Fanatical Faith. So actually, that Ironclad would normally be able to kill them instantly.
This is great Warhammer. This is great Warhammer. I like this a lot. This is really good. Like, very aggro. Imagine pushing your bow snakes forward as an aggro unit.
Why not, right?
Well, I mean, I've just not seen it.
Seems to work.
I've just not seen it. That's the thing that I like so much. Like, it's just fantastic to see, truthfully. So, like, it's just very, very, very fun in here. Thanks, everyone, for joining us live, by the way. This is round 2 of the Age of Sigmar 6 Nations.
It is.
By the way, you guys, you can't see it, but off screen, I can see both the Welsh and the English Gargant players just having a chat. They must have both finished their games.
It's quite funny because the Welsh
off-screen
player and the English player are both from the same club.
Let's get on. We're about an hour into the round.
Yep.
About an hour into the round, and both the English. I'll just quickly cut so you guys can. Go to table 2. No. Table 1. You can see the Swedish Gargant player probably be joining him pretty soon.
They're just going to have a lovely chat about Gargants, aren't they? How did you win your game? Oh, I walked forward. How did you do yours? I walked forward as well.
That's great.
Fantastic.
I absolutely love that they're just having a chat about Gargants.
I wonder if they're talking tactics. And what
how do you walk forward? Well,
how did you walk forward? And how many rocks did you throw in your game? I threw 3 rocks. Oh, I threw 4 rocks.
Big shout out to those players. You guys go really well.
No shout outs. Gargants can get in the sea and go away.
Yeah, but not the Aether Sea.
No,
right.
to the Aether Sea.
So just to catch you guys up with this, as you can see, the Lord Regent did die. Teclis took out the Lord Regent, so the Lord Regent is down. So that is a battle tactic
I love
achieved
how
for
Archer's
Dennis.
playing Teclis like he's a fox.
Yeah.
He started off over here, right? So he started here.
Yep.
Then he zipped off over here, and now Teclis is back over here. So
Yeah.
I think Archie might be playing the wrong model.
Potentially.
Because most people think Teclis stays at the back, and Archie's like, nah, mate.
Yeah, he's gone straight
go over
forward.
here.
Oh, but look at this. He's also taken off. Archie's also taken off the Fox as well. So he's actually not doing bad. He has lost his center objective. So again, just for everyone at home, how you score on this particular mission is you hold these objectives for as long as possible, and then when you burn them,
that's when you score.
That's when you score. Now, if you burn them at the end of the game, they're worth 8. But if you burn them, if you hold them for a turn, it's 1, and then it goes up to 2, 4, and then there's a gap, and then it's 8. So
yeah, it's a really interesting mission.
Yeah.
I think the way that Archie's playing it is really interesting, but I think the loss of this objective could actually just lose the game, because now that these 3 objectives are still in Dennis's hands.
Yeah, they are.
It's going to be really rough.
Yeah. Oh, okay, but also Severith is only down to 1 wound as well. So Severith down here, and don't forget these all belong to Dennis. So 2 wounds,
Okay.
2 wounds left on Severith. So that's pretty massive. Yes, Archie early on lost, but I don't think Archie's out of this at all. He needs to really focus here because, yes, Severith could die, but he's got an 800-point Teclis basically. He's got the Ballista at the back who can keep firing and trading off with these Sentinels. He's got the Wardens, but soon there's going to be nothing left for Dennis to go and grab objectives with.
I'm really curious if that one Sentinel's still alive.
Yeah, we'll find
Just
out.
by himself shooting 1 arrow.
I'm pretty certain he died to the. Yeah, he died to the foxes flying over him. But
I thought it'd be quite funny just imagining this one Sentinel just at the back of the board firing 1 single arrow.
Well, if it's the high Sentinel, then he doesn't even have a bow.
Oh.
Yeah, he's just
Just
got
sit
a
there with,
hawk.
a little...
He's just got a hawk thing. So this will be. This is really interesting actually, because as much as it looked like Dennis had auto won for turn 1, actually, Chris is making a massive comeback here, and we might see this game shake out to it being closer than we expected.
Big point as well. I always forget that Teclis has got that teleport spell.
Yep.
And actually, if you look at where this Fox is here, he's not on this center ring, which means that Teclis can teleport somewhere around here, toe on the objective, take it off of him, potentially burn that straight away and even out score.
Very, very, very interesting to see this match play out. I'm excited to see it. And also, if you look, Dennis has done a lovely job of actually basing his Shrine Luminor.
Yeah.
He's done a lovely job. I'll try and get you guys a close-up. Give me a second.
It is a lovely job on that shrine.
He has done a great job. He's done really, really well.
But at least this is a lot more of an interesting game than we first thought it was going to be. I think we first thought it was going to be just a straight-up win for Dennis when he killed the 30 Sentinels. But it does show that maybe Lumineth aren't all just Sentinels.
Yes. Wow.
Maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. It'll be right. Let's just jump to table 3 and see how this match is going here. We've heard that the Salamanders have killed 9 Plague Bearers, 7 Plague Bearers in combat.
Okay.
Which isn't bad. Don't forget they've got the Disgusting Resilience and the Ward, but I'd be pretty happy not to lose.
See, it is bad. You're saying it's not bad. That's terrible. That's really bad, especially those because they're Thunder Lizard Salamanders as well, so they've got an extra attack in combat.
So you think they should have done more?
I think they should have done a lot more than that. So they're 4 attacks each, right?
Yeah.
That's 8 attacks, 3s and 3s, Ren 2, D3 damage. Every 6 hits, D3 mortal wounds. Now I get that Plague Bearers are -1 to hit, but you just all out attack them, right? To counter that. I genuinely think they should have killed at least 12. And the issue with not killing enough is that these Plague Bearers come back quite easily because he's got Lysol on the list. You've got Rally, so once those Plague Bearers start coming, they get their -1 hit back, and then it's a real slog to try and kill them again.
Yeah, it is. It is. I don't know how Pete is going to push forward beyond here. I think that seems to be the issue. Oh, big news. So the Plague Bearers have got an ability when they've got a banner, basically.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a banner of disease and pestilence. And if you happen to roll a Battle Shock roll of a 1,
okay,
then you get D6 models back. Pete rolled a 1. It's awesome. You auto pass Battle Shock.
Here we go.
But you only got 2 back.
Oh,
but it's still good though. It's still really good. It really is. We just had an update, right?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Did we?
Table 2. Sweden have won Sweden have won the priority, so Dennis has won the priority for turn 3.
Yep.
And he's gone for broken ranks. So that's really good because Chris was making a bit of a comeback in this particular match.
Yeah.
Like, he was doing really, really well. He was...
I think if Archie got that priority, Teclis was going to come down here, start doing some take this objective off of Dennis, and then you can also start almost moving this stuff up a bit because this Severith here has only got 2 wounds remaining.
Yes.
So I think it would have been really good if Dennis got that, or if Chris got that priority. But unfortunately for him, Dennis has got that priority. The Fox can now start maybe doing some stuff. But actually, Dennis hasn't got a lot other than the 30 Sentinels.
Yeah.
But the 30 Sentinels, I have a feeling, are going to be hitting Teclis
Well,
this
we've
turn.
just heard he's actually gone for broken ranks, and he's chosen this unit in the middle. So
Okay, but this unit, I think Severith kills this unit by just, being Severith.
Yeah.
He's got that Ren 3 shot. And then all the Sentinels come over here.
So table 3, I don't know if you guys are big Nurgle fans, but Adam's done really, really well at the moment to take out the key synergies. Turn 1, he used those Bastillodon Sky Street bows to take out Sloppity Barpipe and Spoilsbox Scrivener. Then they've traded blows, especially up here, with eventually those Puskul Bloodlords. I think we've got one back here, or
So this is the Afflictions dude.
yeah.
I can't remember his full name, but that's the character.
Okay, all right. So
Which I assume also has the Rustfang.
yeah, but they were unable to take out these Stegodons at the back. But in turn 3, or priority into turn 3, Nurgle have won the priority role here.
Okay.
So they're in a good spot, and they've I can't remember what they've decided to go for. Someone the table boss did tell me, but I forgot.
Broken ranks on one of the Stegodons.
Broken ranks on one of the Stegodons,
Which I assume is this one that's wounded.
Because of course their battle line. It's what he can get to go in there though, because there are so many threats on the board, right?
Yeah.
There's the Salamanders here. There's the Bastillodons. There's the Stegodon here, and he's here. So there's quite a bit.
And a Salamander here, and a Slan there, and a Stegodon here.
So all threats. Is
It's
there another
all threats
Stegodon
all
behind
the
there?
time.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, so you've got 1, 2, 3 Stegodons. Then you've got a Bastillodon, and I think this is a Bastillodon here.
No,
as
there's
well?
only one Bastillodon.
I thought it was double Basti.
It might be, but I don't think Adam. Me and Adam were talking about it. He thinks having 2 is redundant, and I hugely agree with that statement. I think he's absolutely right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm reading the wrong list. That's why.
No
I thought it was
problem. Over on this game on table number 4 between Dave Kane from Northern Ireland
Engine of
with
the Gods.
with
Sorry.
his Barak Nar KO list against Liara Pamnel from Sweden, our Swedish champion. That's
Yep.
right, our Swedish champ, battling it out here. You've got a unit of bow snakes at the bottom. Marathi engaged in a fight here, as was the Cauldron with this gun hauler that they're still involved in this fight. So they're still battling this out. And if you look, and I can't believe I'm saying
Have the
this.
Bloodstalkers? No. I'm sorry. Have the Bloodstalkers?
Have the Bloodstalkers charged the Thunderers? Is that what we're seeing?
The Bloodstalkers have charged the Thunderers.
So they get.
So the Bloodstalkers have charged some Thunderers, right?
Yeah, which I would not expect.
They've hit
Yeah,
and killed a single Thunderer.
but they've killed a Thunderer.
But
Like,
like,
I don't know. I guess you take out the output that the Thunderers have against.
Marathi against the Cauldrons, like
Yeah, I guess. I mean, because even if this eventual game gets
I
lost,
love
you
this
just
more than anything I've seen today.
just don't know what to say about this. This is some
This
wild
goes against
Warhammer.
everything I've ever known about Warhammer,
This is
but
the
it
opposite
seems to be
of
working.
all Warhammer. I mean, I don't know if is it working. Liara's on 5 points. Dave's on 2. We'll get a score update now from our table boss.
Don't forget, Dave failed his battle tactic last time as well.
Oh, that's not his fault though. He was shooting at the Witch Elves and they lost. Wasn't able to kill one.
So whose fault is that?
Well, I guess, yeah, but my point is, it wasn't like a counterplay, right? Like it just.
Or was he so scared of those Bloodstalkers apparently charging at him that he just couldn't roll his dice anymore?
I mean, the Cauldron and Marathi are involved in the fight here, He has lost a frigate already. Frigate's quarter of the points. Why would you charge them? The Thunderers did 1 damage back. There's 2 shooting units involved in combat. Can we just can we just find out where we are in the turns, please, Table Boss, on this game? Okay, so this is the top of turn 2.
What is going on?
Table Boss unable to communicate info there. Right. So table 2, we found out it was Severith.
Okay.
Who took out our Wardens, which was the battle tactic
what I
that
said.
Dennis was trying to achieve. So here you can see Severith went up, killed those. So battle tactics achieved. Great job. Are we going to see the Sentinel shooting to Teclis start wound Teclis? Maybe.
We got to.
And we'll find out from our...
Wow, so you've got Life Swarm just down here. So some of those Sentinels have started to come back.
Yeah, so yeah, we've seen Life Swarm cast here. The interesting thing about that is you would be like, okay, let's talk about Teclis for a minute and his ability to anti-magic. It's pretty massive. Yeah, he's got an auto unbind, 1 spell and 1 end the spell per turn. He auto does it. Don't mess around. I just decide to do it, right? Which is pretty huge. He also can unbind infinite attempts. He has infinity unbinds, which I discovered only yesterday, which is pretty cool. But
I think he's probably saving that unbind. So the reason he's probably not gone for Life Swarm is to try and unbind the Sentinel's Power of Heish.
Well, if I'm allowed to be...
Oh, okay.
If I'm allowed to think outside the box, I reckon the Cathalar...
Yeah.
Who's in the shroom, the line shroom?
The line shroom.
It's not the line shroom, the shrine luminor.
That's the one.
Yeah. In there, I reckon the Cathalar contemplated, which means the next turn you cast a spell and it's not allowed to be unbound.
Okay.
Which is a clever play.
My even hotter take is that he just didn't unbind it and just waiting for Power of Heish.
Okay.
Because just get rid of Power of Heish.
One of those, maybe. One of those. Oh, okay, good. Table 4, Marathi. Table 4, Marathi has killed the prosecutors.
Okay.
That were in this list and has killed the gun hauler. Gun hauler.
So does that mean that all that's left in Dave's army is this Ironclad and these Thunderers?
Yes. Yes.
And Liara's still got the Bloodstalkers, which are in combat, a Shrine, and the Hag Queen on Cold of the Blood, and Marathi.
What? Uh-oh. This isn't looking good.
No.
I mean, those Thunderers can do some pretty good work. Dave's still got his turn to go.
He does,
right?
But not a lot to use. I suppose, the Ironclad is a loss of points. The issue is...
The Thunderers are a lot of points.
Yeah, but they're in combat with the Bloodstalkers, so they shoot the Bloodstalkers, right? Which means that the Ironclad is going to have to try and deal with this or this. But Marathi's still going to be around. So if Liara wins the priority, she just comes over and kills it.
Just some great Warhammer.
This is genuinely brilliant, because all the threats are in his face.
Yeah, like he's overloaded... Liara has overloaded the threats.
Yeah, it's threat saturation, isn't it? It's brilliant.
Okay, so table 1. How have the Graveguard done into these Gargants? As you can see, our Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon has gone up into this Gargant. Our Graveguard here have gone into another Gargant, right? They're trying their hardest. They've lost another objective at the back here, or they've burnt their own objective. Sorry. So Solomon being smart, burning his objective, being like, I'm going to burn it before you can take it off me.
Okay.
Right? Trying to reduce how many points that can be scored by Jonas.
And it also looks like Jonas has burnt his objective and this objective as well.
Yeah,
so there's only actually 2 objectives left on the board. There's this objective here and this objective up here.
Yeah.
And I think if we were in Solomon's turn, if I was Solomon, I'd be... If you kill this, you can potentially burn this one, win the game.
Yeah, very interesting.
So I think burning these 2 by Jonas it could cost him the game here.
But then maybe he just couldn't avoid it, right? Because he was just conscious of the fact that on a double.
Why would you not just keep a Gargant there?
I guess so. I mean, he didn't have to move forward.
Yeah.
But that is counter-ethical to how Gargants play. They move forward
or stand.
Or
so he's
stand.
gone. So instead of going for the stand, he's gone for the move. Whereas this time he should have just gone for the stand.
Yeah, okay. Right, about table 3. Pete has just summoned the Spoil Spot Scrivener onto the board.
Oh, he's brought him back, is he?
He's brought him back, which is quite nice because both Sloppy Barpiper and the Scrivener are able to be summoned in these lists, and they buff all of these pieces, specifically the Plague Bearers the most. So Pete has lost his mobile threats in the Pusco Blight Lords, but like Adam's got all of his threats still available. He's got all, like we've talked about, like I think this is just a ticking clock on Pete's list, really. These Salamanders, there's 2 Salamanders right there, eyeballing a bunch of Plague Bearers. So unless these Plague Bearers are going to go in and try and weight of dice them down.
But then the thing is, like, actually, you look at it, and Adam hasn't actually done anything.
No.
Like, you actually look at the board, and Adam's not done anything, and Pete has also done nothing. Because what Adam needs to do is be coming down on these objectives here, because without taking the objectives, it's just going to end a draw.
Yes.
And Pete is also, I think Pete knows this, and he's just going, all right, I'm going to stay here, and you've got to kill me off.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pete is actually just playing for a draw for his team.
Okay, yeah.
Just get the points.
Just get the points on the board. Well, so talking about it, so we've obviously got the rest of the event happening. We haven't had any results in apart from England versus Scotland, where Steve Curtis played Lee Martin, and Steve was able to take out a major victory in that particular game. So no more results in of yet. Not forgetting that both England, Northern Ireland, and Wales capped last round.
Yep.
So they're still the hot favourites to play against each other, with England playing against Scotland this round, Northern Ireland playing against Sweden, which is the match we're covering, and then Ireland playing against Wales. So maybe both Wales and Northern Ireland are going to be able to pick up those points, depending on how the match with Sweden goes. You were telling me that you think England said that they were worried about their game against Scotland.
Yes, I think the pairing process Laurie was saying was going quite really well. I think he was quite happy with his pairings, but I think it's a lot of his teams were his players were a little bit nervous about their games. And I don't think they should have been. I think they've done really well in the pairings, to be honest.
Okay.
I think if I was to predict something, I'd say that England are going to cap this round as well.
Oh, interesting.
But they have to cap this round, because if they want to beat Wales, they need to cap, because Wales capped against Scotland last round. So England have to cap against Scotland.
Yeah, of course. And then, you're right. It's very interesting. With England though, also capped against Sweden, and Sweden and Northern Ireland playing each other right now. And it's not actually... Let's just talk about these games a little bit. Like, Jonas versus Solomon, Northern Ireland, I don't think are taking this game. I don't think, but maybe. But
we haven't seen the other 4 tables.
No, there's just this one. I'm just talking about these 4 that we've got.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe Northern Ireland not taking this one away at the moment.
Well, you say that again. I think Jonas made a mistake. So I think Solomon might actually win that game.
Maybe, but I think Sweden are taking this out as well. I think Dennis with his Helon list is doing very well against Archie. Yes, maybe it was a dice roll on the first turn to decide, but ultimately I think they're in a really solid place here.
Yep.
And I think that in my mind is 2 wins to Sweden. Which is actually pretty tough to cap the round in that situation. Adam versus Pete. I say Adam's in the driving seat in this particular game versus Pete.
Yeah, I say he's in the driving seat. I don't know. I think it's going to be a small victory though. So if you look at that matrix, like he's going to be getting that 15-5 or 16-4 bracket, I think. So I don't think he's going up to the 20-0, or I probably don't even think he's going to 18-2. I think we're going to be looking at 17-3, 16-4, or 15-5.
Yeah, agreed. And then on table 4, who knows? Who knows in this particular match? Liara versus Dave Kane. We're only on turn 2.
If I had to predict, I'd say that Liara's won.
Well, let's see what Dave has done in his turn. So we're at the bottom of turn 2, yeah. So he's taken the Ironclad, and he's flying over here, and now we're about to get the Thunderers unleashing into those Bloodstalkers. So whether or not those Bloodstalkers can survive, and if you look, the Ironclad is also targeting the Cauldron here as well. Marathi basically out on her own, safe to do what she wants to. Oh, I guess also he could put 3 wounds onto little baby Marathi. There as well. So he's got the options.
Then baby Marathi's -1 to hit. So if you're going to shoot at Marathi, you're going to shoot at big Marathi.
So on table 2, we just heard Dennis scored 6 points in his turn 2.
Wow.
Yeah, so 11 points to 2, which I think is pretty interesting. So yeah, that's good. This just to go back to 4 for a second. Yeah, like the Ironclad's got a lot of shots. It's able to do. In the different models. But Marathi, we'll find out how many wounds Marathi has left. That's going to be pretty important to find out. But there's lots of long-range shooting available to come out of the KO boat.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I just think.
Oh, Marathi's taken no damage. Because Liara's just been like, well, here's my bow snakes in your face. Now you've got to shoot them. And then she's been like, here's my cauldron in your face. You got to shoot that. She literally has charged everything else in first.
Ask questions later.
And ask questions later. I think has Liara also lost a cauldron? I think she's. Wow. So we've just heard that the Thunderers have shot into. Is it saves or was it just bad shooting? We'll find out. So the Thunderers just here shot into
the Bloodstalkers. So Thunderers shot into the Bloodstalkers, and the Thunderers have done
2 damage.
2 damage, and that is it. Because the Bloodstalkers were on a +2 save, so from the Cauldron and from an all-out defense, right? And then they've got the 5-up DPR as well, plus the reroll from Hagnar. So they're on a essentially 4+, ignoring 1 rend with a 5-up DPR rerolling.
6-up, I think it is. I think it's the Fanatical Faith is a 6-up rerolling, maybe.
Yeah, but with Hagnar ability.
Oh, yes. Yes, it was turned into a 5-up, yeah. And we did lose the other Cauldron last turn to the Ironclad charging in, which is just such a...
This is just crazy.
Crazy. It's just such a good game. Really, really fun. Because we're going into a priority roll next. So if Liara does get it, then you've got the Cauldron potentially to go into the Ironclad. Although the Ironclad is about to shoot the Cauldron now, we might see that lifted. But these Bloodstalkers have got their shooting. Not forgetting they've got the hero phase shooting, and then they've got the shooting phase shooting. So they might be able to get rid of those Thunderers as well. And they've grabbed the board really nicely. Look at little Marathi as well, holding this back objective, being like, cool, I'm holding on to that. If you bring your Ironclad over, it's not a monster, right? It would count as 2 models, the Ironclad, but it's not a monster. So it's not going to count as 5. And Marathi's got more than 5 models, so she actually 5 wounds, sorry. So she actually counts as 2 as well. So these 2 cancel each other out. So Marathi just holding that objective away, which again is really smart, understanding that there isn't anything that Dave can do to drop on objectives and outscore. And then,
I just don't see how much damage or how the KO players, Dave is going to actually score objectives now.
Well, so just to let you know, Marathi has done. Marathi's taken 3 damage.
Okay.
And then you can see Dave has charged in with his boat, and Liara's taken another. Liara has taken another 2 bow snakes off because of the damage coming out from the Ironclad down here. So, Dave's still playing really hard Warhammer and is pushing in. And as you can see, he's just also rolled a 12-inch charge, by the way, to get into just to get into Marathi at the top there. Now he's not going to do any more damage because he's done the 3, but he's going to be on the objective, which I think is going to be important. Because he's definitely not going to be outscored, right? It's just worth 2 for the objective. We'll find that out from our table boss.
Yeah.
Ironclad's worth 2. It's not a monster, which makes you worth 5. And if you're over 5 wounds, it's worth 2, and that's it. That's wild.
I don't really know why.
That's wild.
I don't really know why you would put your Ironclad there. Because Little Marathi can actually do a fair amount of damage.
Yeah, Little Marathi's not bad in a fight. That's true. Okay, and look at that. The Thunderers, Liara's in a tough-ish spot here. Not forgetting Marathi, as I understand it, has taken no wounds, but we'll double-check that. But I'm pretty certain we've seen none on Marathi. Oh, okay, so
we've been wondering where Dave's army is and why there's not a lot left. But turns out it's all been hiding.
Yeah, so there are 10 Thunderers inside the Ironclad, as well as a couple of characters. So that's going to make it outscore on this objective.
Not this turn, though.
Not this
He's going to have to jump out next movement
Jump out next turn and do that. But that's going to be really helpful.
He's looking for a priority.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he's in a much stronger place than we thought. We thought he didn't have anything inside the boat, but he does have stuff inside the boat now. So that's good. Let's just go find out very quickly. The Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon at the top was unable to take out the Gargan. The unit that came along with it also failed, and the Grave Guard that we see engaged in the center against the Gargan is also struggling.
Not killing that Gargan, I think this is now 100% Jonas' game. Because now all that Jonas needs to do is move to there, retreat and just toe the objective, score this one, burn it, burn that one, win the game.
Okay, we're hearing from our chat that we need to respect Dave Kane more. Maybe we should. Maybe Sweden should have respected him more. I think we're going to hear an interview soon from the Swedish coach to find out what it's like to travel over to another country and play international Warhammer. I think we're getting that interview lined up sometime soon. So that'll be very exciting to see.
Yeah, that'll be really, really good.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. And then, hey everyone, hey Pedro Fantastico in the chat. Hey Rob, I won my first ever game of AOS. Well done, Pedro. Well done, Pedro. Great work. Absolutely 11 out of 10. That's what we like to hear. You will probably be winning a game like Jonas might be in this particular match. Over on table 2, this game between Archie and Dennis, the Lumineth off. Such an aggressive first turn by Dennis, shooting out all of Archie's Sentinels. He then pushed all of his Wind Spirits up in the center, eventually including his Lord Regent, and able to burn this objective. But since then, Archie's been playing out of his skin. Teclis has been doing all sorts of work. He's been attacking.
I don't think I've ever seen Teclis do this much.
He's doing so much.
So Teclis, just to give some context, Teclis started here, right? He whizzed over here, went back over here.
1 second.
And then went over here.
Yeah, amazing. Right, so
and now he's going to charge.
Right, we're now going to go over to our infield reporter Matt. He's going to be speaking to the Swedish coach, find out what it's like to organise a team for the event. Over to Matt right now.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, so I'm here with the Swedish coach, yeah. So how have you been finding it here so far? Have you been to Wales before?
Yes, actually I was at Six Nations last time I was in Wales, I believe 2019, was it? Was a different venue, I think it was also Firestorm Games, so yeah, because it's moved, yeah.
So how are you finding the new venue?
It's super nice, yeah, it's really sweet, yeah. It's very nice with the floors and you have the cafe up here and everything, it's excellent.
Yeah, we think so too. So how are you feeling going into this round at the start? Like how is that kind of like different? How are you feeling now?
So at the start we didn't have so much time to prepare the pairings for this round, and the practice we did during lunch was so-so, and then we ended up pairing really well when it actually came down to it, so we ended up with a very good pairing based on our estimations of the matchups. So we're super happy with that. And now we're just going to see how the games play out. Some of them are swinging in the opponent's favors and some of them are going in our favor, so we're just going to have to see.
Yeah, for certain, and it's always interesting talking to the coaches, because the Northern Irish coach said the same thing, that he was super happy with his pairings. Yeah. So it's always we were saying it's always a bit nerve-wracking when you get that, and you're like, well, someone has to be wrong, right? So yeah, no.
That's just how it goes.
Yeah, for sure. So
because when you're doing the pairing, you just have to rely on how the players feel about the matchups, and you can help them evaluate it to some extent, but you're not going to overrule them. If they feel uncomfortable, you're not going to.
Yeah, of course, right? Because matchups are always down to sort of personal opinion and things like that, exactly, and how you play the game. Speaking of which, we've been chatting a lot about how Liara plays. So obviously she's the champion of Sweden, and she's been playing very differently to how we normally see daughters played. And it's been quite remarkable to watch her play, to be honest. And it's just been seeing everything in combat turn 2 with daughters is not something you usually play. Is that what you were expecting her to do? Like, as in just that kind of different play style?
From her, yes. From daughters in Sweden, typically you see the teleporting Kaileron snakes, the bow snakes, but Liara is playing a unique style, and it's working out very well for her, both here at this event, but also back home in Sweden. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. Do you have any other kind of like star players, sort of like?
I would guess that would be Adam Sef, who's playing the Thunder Lizards. He's doing really well back home as well. Yep.
Does he play other lists, or is it just that list that he's like kind of like his?
He's been playing very well before. He's played a lot of Osiarch Bone Reapers back in 2.0, and then basically we saw this Thunder Lizards list when he was at Worlds in August. Okay. So before August he didn't play any 3.0 at all. Oh, wow. Yeah, neither of us did. And then as 3.0 came around and we started playing it, we saw this Thunder Lizards and it was really good, so he just started playing it then, and he's been performing stellarly on it.
Fantastic, that's what you want to hear. Yep. And so yeah, so we've got a fan question. Okay, so what do you think about being the best looking team?
We just take that for granted.
Yeah, it was a given. You were like, we're coming to the UK, like it's guaranteed, right?
Yeah, no problem.
Exactly. Yeah, we've seen some fantastic. Yeah, we've seen some. Yeah. No,
I'm
that's
joking.
fair. It's don't joke. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, thank you very much for talking to us, and we'll hand it back to the lads, the definitely worst looking lads.
Wow.
Excellent.
sorry.
Thanks very much, Matt. Great work. Lovely interviews. Great seeing that. It'll be fun. It'll be fun to hear from Owen soon as well as the TO. That's going to be super sweet. Thanks to both of our tournament organisers. Right.
Running a great event.
Running a great event. Table 4. I'm going to quickly talk about this match here.
Yep.
This is pretty exciting because the priority role for turn 3 has gone to Liara for Team Sweden.
Okay.
That's Team Sweden, but she isn't sure what she's going to do with this. I was at that table. She was taking her time to decide. Not forget, there's this Ironclad up here with the Thunderers in. Baby Marathi is moved down here next to the Cauldron.
Yep.
Other Marathi is here, and then we've only got 3 Bow Snakes left. So she's going to want to do... she's going to want to make sure she's in range to shoot twice, maybe get herself out of this Thunderer situation. But the problem is that Ironclad can keep bopping around, drop some objectives, drop some dwarfs off here, grab this objective. It's looking pretty positive at the moment. But she's also really up on points at the moment. So
yeah,
we'll have to
it's
see how
really
this-
up in points.
Yeah.
The issue is like that Liara has only got Marathi here, only a couple of Bow Snakes here, and this sort of left. And leaving this objective is really dangerous against KO because this Ironclad is just going to fly high, bop over here, score that one, which means then Dave is going to be scoring 1, scoring 2, and scoring more because this objective isn't here anymore, which would leave Liara with only 1 objective left.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we see Marathi actually go up this way just to stop that and just sit there and say, look, if you want to come and get this objective, you've got to deal with Marathi.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty wild. Really exciting match. So for everyone who's just joined us, we'll give you an update of what's happening. For Team Sweden, we've got Jonas versus Solomon. Jonas was running his Taker Tribe, or is running his Taker Tribe list, as you can see. Pushed really hard into Solomon, and Solomon really hasn't got an answer. Solomon just doesn't his list just doesn't pass the DPS check. He's tried. He's thrown the Vampire Lord and Zombie Dragon in. It didn't die. He wasn't able to kill anything. Didn't die. He threw the Grave Guard in to try and take the objective, and wasn't able to do that either.
But somehow, I think Solomon's going to win without killing a Gargan.
Okay.
So currently Solomon's on 12 points. Jonas is on 4.
Okay.
And there's 2 objectives left. Okay. So if Solomon can hold out till turn 5 on this objective, he burns it for 8 points, goes up to 20, and then this one doesn't matter what it's worth because he wins.
Yeah, it seems odd though, because you really think Jonas would have grabbed a lot of points this round.
I have a feeling it's 12-4. I have a feeling it's Jonas has 12.
Yeah, we'll get that. We'll get that double check to make sure it's Solomon who's on 12-4.
A lot.
Well,
Solomon
Ferocious Advance just gets you 3 just for turning up on turn 1. So we'll get that double check by our table boss now on table 1 to make sure the score overlay is right.
It would be incredible if Solomon managed to pull this out the bag without killing a Gargan.
Yeah. I don't think that's the case though. I don't think that's the case at all. But we'll see, because there's only like 2 you can achieve. So anyway, we'll get that checked now on table 2. As you can see, we've seen Archie playing his heart out. He's gone for broken ranks. He went for a unit of Sentinels, which Teclis charged in to take out. And I think he's achieved that as well. So really now, Dennis has only got the Sentinels left.
It looks like Archie's going to win.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Like, it's quite funny, though. If you kill the Sentinels, Lumineth become interesting to watch. Because Teclis has actually been really, really fun piece to watch. Like, he started over here, he's bounced around, he's done a lot, and it's a lot more interesting to watch this than it has been to watch sort of the traditional Teclis castle.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah, like, it is much more traditional to see them be a lot more defensive. But it's quite fun seeing Teclis fly around the board quite aggressively, doing as much as he can. Don't forget, Teclis has also got a bit of backup. Yeah, we lost the Sentinels, but we've also had the Ballista shooting in here a lot. And then we've just seen Searing White Light activated again, taking these out.
Yeah. It's been really interesting.
Very interesting. Just to table 3, we just heard that Pete has decided to take broken ranks for his army. and is looking to put that into, I think he's looking to put that into one of the Stegodons. I don't know which one it is, but Pete's in a really tough spot here because he hasn't taken out any of Adam's threats currently, apart from the Engine of the Gods that was here in this corner.
I think that was just a Stegodon. I think this is the Engine of the Gods. These are the 2 Battle Line Stegodons, and this is the Basti here. So I think the one that was down here was just a generic Stegodon.
Oh, okay. All right, but we've still got these 2 salamanders. We've still got the other salamander at the top left-hand side.
Still got Slan at the back.
Yeah, and he's still got the Slan at the back. So Adam's got like a lot of output available to him still into Pete's army, and Pete's lost any of his mobile threats, and he looks very hemmed in personally. But he has won the priority into this turn.
He has.
So in turn 3, he does have the option to potentially hit as many units as he needs to.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is going to be really interesting. Not forgetting those salamanders have got an It's Burns attack. I know you guys know, but let's just look at it one more time. Let's see what this unit does. 12-inch range, and it moves 8 inches. So a unit of 2 is going to do 8 attacks.
Yep.
And because of It Burns, any 6s to hit, do D3
mortal wounds.
They wound on the 3, they're Ren 2. You can get +1 to hit. You can get, it's crazy. And then
they
when
are just brilliant, aren't they?
And then when they charge in, 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, Ren 2 D3
but
damage.
it's not 3 attacks, because we're in Thunder Lizards.
So it's 4 attacks.
So we get 4.
So they're even better in a fight. The only thing, they're equally as good as they are a bad model.
Yes.
Which is interesting.
Yeah.
Which I really do think is interesting. So, yeah, that's Salamanders. And I'm not surprised to see them doing quite well. But it's really nice to see the backup of the shooting from the Stegodons.
I think the Stegodon shooting has been it's just been brilliant. Like the turn 1, we saw the Sloppy and the Scrivener go down at turn 1 just from the Stegodon shooting and the Bastiladon shooting. Now, the Bastiladon has been a really key piece in this game because obviously he gets a lot better against demons. So I think he basically doubles his damage, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He goes from 1 damage to 2 damage.
Yes.
Each shot. So those 9 shots turn from a potential 9 damage to a potential 18 damage, which then in Thunder Lizards turns from a potential 18 damage to a potential 36 damage.
Yes. Yeah, it's very good. And it'll be very interesting to see if Pete's able to push out from here because he can. Yeah, so we're just hearing some updates from the other games around the matches here at Age of Sigmar 6 Nations, and we've just heard that England have won 3 of their games so far, but so have Wales.
Okay.
So Northern Ireland, if they want to be the challengers, which I know they do, they're the bookies' favourite, they really need to step up, and they need to start winning some of these matches.
Are they your favourites in your hearts?
Favourite in my hearts, you know it, as are Sweden, and Northern Ireland, and Wales. So the... You need to remember. This is Sweden. This is Sweden versus Northern Ireland. 80. This is 4 of the 8 matches that are happening. And to give you guys a quick update on table 1, you've got Jonas for Sweden versus Solomon for Northern Ireland. And I reckon that this is a Swedish win all day.
I think so, but for some reason I think Solomon's going to win.
No,
I don't understand why.
Okay,
just because there's only 2 objectives.
No, so actually there's not. This objective in the centre doesn't exist.
So it's just the one objective.
It's just been burnt. This one in the centre has been burnt. It doesn't exist. So it's just this objective.
Good game. Well done, Jonas.
Yeah. So I think Jonas has taken this particular match away. So that puts a win in Sweden's favour. Table 2, Archie versus Dennis. This is actually super close. Very, very close.
Oh yeah. So at the start of the game, turn 1, Dennis managed to kill all of Chris's Sentinels with his Sentinels. And basically, Chris has just been playing with Teclis and a Starshard Ballista, and somehow he's managed to mop up everything, and I think he's going to win the game.
He's doing very well. He's pushed super aggressively. He's taken out Severith. He took out the...
he's going into the Sentinels.
Yeah, and look at this.
There's only 2,
Amazing.
10 Sentinels left, and Teclis has the output to do 10.
If he hits and wounds with everything, his output's pretty low.
He has the output.
Yeah.
And actually, you've only necessarily got to do a couple, and then Battle Shock.
So probably not, because the Shrine Luminor's right here. So
but is there anything in it?
We'll find out if the Shrine Luminor is currently kept in. This is excellent Warhammer, though.
Genuinely incredible Warhammer.
So we've just... So we've just heard Teclis has used Howling Gale to stop the Sentinels.
What is Howling Gale?
Howling Gale is a spell, which
Okay.
means you can't basically use Unleash Hell.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain. Can't use any command abilities.
Which means Battle Shock.
You can't use Battle Shock. Yeah, you won't be able to use Inspiring Presence. So again, Archie's playing some incredible Warhammer. Look at this.
Using spells I've never even seen a Lumos player use.
Amazing.
And using them really effectively.
Absolutely great. These Wardens, I love that these 2/10 Wardens
Just
have never
haven't
moved.
It's literally just been Teclis running
They've just
around.
been
Like, I've
running
got this, lads.
They've just been running around. This Ballista's done some solid work, though.
When
as well.
did Teclis get good?
When did Archie get good?
Wow.
It's a fair statement.
Wow.
It's a fair statement. Anyone who knows him will agree with that
Now
statement.
that is
That's
fire.
fine. So, Table 3 we've been talking about already, so this is fine. Table 4 in our game with Dave Kane from Northern Ireland in Liara from Sweden.
Just got up
The
and charged.
cauldron has gone in. If you can see, Marathi has traded places with the Bow Snakes.
Yep.
So those Bow Snakes have fallen out now. Marathi gone into the Thunderers, and then the Cauldron has gone into the Ironclad. I assume looking to do as much damage as possible as the Ironclad, but more importantly, to maybe try and stop the Ironclad from picking out these last three Bow
Try and
Snakes.
get it down enough wounds that it can't fly high anymore.
Exactly. Yeah.
This round is some of the best Warhammer.
It's great.
I have ever
There's
seen.
been some real pullbacks. To be fair, this game between Liara and Dave is actually super confusing because Dave's boat has still got a bunch of.
It's got 10 Thunderers in it.
10 Thunderers, yes, and some characters. And as we know, also, Little Marathi's also charging combat as well. We just heard that she's just done 1 damage in combat.
Yeah.
So she's got the Cauldron to go. I think we haven't had the Cauldron actually activate yet, although it will do its impact hits as well. But it's got 9 wounds left.
Which means it
the
can't
Ironclad.
fly high anymore.
It can't, or it can.
I think it's when it hits 9 or less, it loses fly high.
Oh, yeah.
This is
And
brilliant.
Marathi currently, so far, has only taken 2 wounds, right here, which is wild.
Both players playing phenomenally.
Right, we're just hearing on table 1 that the grave site that was here previously, we've had some Graveguard come back out from the grave site using the allegiance ability. So half the unit size, half that unit size has been put here on the objective. Now that isn't going to outscore. Okay, so we just heard Wales have scored another win. For the rest of the tournament. So again, one of the bookies' favourites to challenge Team England.
But this is just a really good play. Like bringing the Graveguard out here. This Gargan is really wounded. So if you can kill this Gargan, he's thrown Manfred up here. So if Manfred and these Graveguard can actually deal with this Gargan, this is the only objective left, right? You could also stop from Jonas from burning this objective to score the big 8.
Yep.
You hold it, you then just burn it. I know it means Solomon's still going to lose, but it means he's only going to lose by a little bit, which means he's going to be getting a lot of points for his team.
It's going to be, it's really, really, we've just heard that he's chosen Broken Ranks
on that Gargan.
So, and we've seen Manfred go in, which is pretty exciting.
Do it with a monster. You get yourself 3 points for the battle tactic. Then you get yourself a point for killing a monster. So that'll be 4 points, which put him on 12. Oh, sorry, that'll put him on more points, lots more points. You then burn this objective, get another one. So you're getting 5 points. That's 17-8. And I don't think Jonas can actually pull back from that.
No, I don't think he can either. I don't think he can come back either. It'll be very interesting to see.
So again, Solomon, if this pulls off, Solomon can win.
No.
If this pulls off, he can.
No.
Genuinely.
No.
Because he's going to score 5 points from this move.
He can't do it. He can't. No.
Yes.
No. King Solomon is what he's now known as. King.
It's this score. Is
8-12 right?
If Solomon is on 12,
is this score right, Table Boss?
If Gargant dies, Solomon wins.
Yeah. Let's find out. Yeah, that's right. King Solomon, is he going to get it? That's the real question. Let's find out from our Table Boss now.
This round is just, my brain doesn't work anymore.
The score is right. It's 12-8. What round are we in? What turn? What turn are we in, Table Boss? We'll just quickly find out.
Oh, come on.
Top of turn 4.
Yeah, so if this move happens, Solomon's going to win.
Okay. Come on, Solomon. This is very exciting.
With killing
How many
one
wounds left on the
Gargant?
Gargant? How many wounds left on the Gargant? Let's go. The Grave Guard. They've got to go first. It's a gate breaker as well.
This is mental. That Gargant's only got 11 wounds left.
Okay, that's pretty exciting. And did we just hear that the oh wow, did the Ironclad kill the War Shrine in combat? The Ironclad has killed the War Shrine in combat. Marathi, the only thing still locked in.
What is this round, Rob?
I don't know.
What is going on?
I don't know. There's a lot of dice being rolled.
I have no idea what's happening anymore.
Marathi's left one Thunder left. I imagine that there's a big admiral inside the boat, right?
I'm sorry. So this game has
All right.
bow
Okay.
snakes have charged forwards.
Congratulations, Archie. Well done, Archie. Archie, yeah, well done. So we could just announce on table 2, because Archie came in and told us himself that Archie has won this game. We'll get a double update. I think it's 22 to 19.
11.
22 to 11. Wow. So yeah, he came in and announced it himself. So congratulations.
We've got to get an Archie interview.
Yeah, we would like our table boss. Our table boss would really like to hear an interview with Archie, please, about his match. The crowd demands
has
it.
Blown my mind.
Yeah, that would be great. So just to keep everyone updated as to why this is so impressive, Archie lost his 30 Sentinels. Dennis, on his first turn, took his 30 Sentinels, shot off Archie's 30 Sentinels, put his 2 Wind Spirits and Severith in, and took out a bunch.
Killed everything.
He also put his Lord Regent in, so Archie was left with a unit of Wardens, another unit of Wardens, a unit of Wardens in center, and Starshard Ballista, yeah, of course, and also Techless.
Yeah. So
And then-
Techless was just in the corner. He's then over the next 5 turns just gone from here, over here, to here, to here, and just wiped out nearly all of Dennis's army all by himself.
Yeah. Go over there. That'd be great. Okay.
This is insane.
Yeah, over there. You'll follow that guy. You'll see. So we're now going to go to our interview. Our gorgeous man, Mark, is going to be bringing you an interview. And we're going to go to that interview right now with Archie, the winner of this Techless mirror match. Well, Sentinel mirror.
So, Archie, here we go. So, Archie, first turn, you lose pretty much all your Sentinels, but you've won the game. So, can you tell the rest of the Warhammer world what the hell?
Just basically, Rob's a liar. Sentinels aren't needed. Techless is needed. Okay, that matchup was perfect for me. The reason it was perfect was because Techless just basically dominates the magic phase. So I'm literally doing spells that he can't match, killing all his hordes, killing his archers. He's relying on his archers and his foxes, whereas I'm not. That's the key.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. I mean,
Rob was wrong. That's the key thing. Rob was wrong.
as being fortunate witness to such an amazing game of Warhammer, one observation that I have is that if you remove Sentinels from the Lumineth book, they become an interesting army. Can I get a comment?
No, I agree. I think they become a lot weaker, obviously, but I think there's still a lot of play with Techless. So I think as long as they don't change Techless, I'll be a happy man.
So what we're saying is everybody plays Techless wrong because they stick him at the back, and he should be in combat, just knocking everybody out.
100%. So I was accused at the start of this book that my Techless was a terrain piece because he didn't move. So this is to prove Pre-Pat, wherever he is, he's playing on stream as well, prove him wrong.
Chris
Because he
Caves has
painted my
also won
Techless.
his
He
game.
looks lovely. So does.
He does, very pretty.
I know, and he accused him of being a terrain piece, so fuck Pete Pratt. Sorry, I didn't mean to swear, sorry.
He did mean to swear, but it's all good.
Thanks, Bob.
So looking forward into the rest of the tournament, who I know you guys have already played the other Irish lads and taken full advantage of their pre-night sort of drinks the night before, making the most of that, absolutely. But who else are you looking forward to playing now?
Personally, I really look forward to playing the English. I really hope I get tied against Darren. I don't know why. I've always wanted to play Darren, so I just kind of want to play Darren.
So basically, you just want to batter some Englishmen now. Is that what you were saying?
Will we win? I don't know. All I know is they all brought meta armies. They brought giants. They brought Zeech. We didn't bring that.
So all you got to do is convince them to kill all your Sentinels, and then you'll beat them. Is that what we're saying?
Well, I've lost my Sentinels twice in 2 games now by turn 3, so yeah.
Can I suggest you replace them with something else?
No.
There you go. And there you have it. Northern Ireland, resetting Lumineth trends.
Archie. Great work, Archie. Congratulations. Excellent work.
Brilliant.
Absolutely excellent work there. Bit of a hero. At this point. What a legend. Absolutely insane play. So, and I like what he said there. It was interesting. Teclis dominates the mirror match because he's just able to get off all his spells and no one's messing with him. And I guess, really, the Lumineth do rely on a lot of that magic, the Sun Metal weapons and everything else. So,
the Sentinels without Sun Metal just lose a lot of their output, don't they?
They really do. By the way, can we just talk about this Gargant being dead in this match? Now, can we get an update as to whether or not the Gargant being dead meant the objective was burnt at the end of that turn? That's the update that we need, because this is edge of the seat stuff.
I can't cope with this round anymore.
It's 12-8. The Gargant has died, and Solomon has burnt the objective. Does that mean he scored? Hold on. I think that means he scores 4 points. The objective in the middle is not there, right? So
no, it's not there. So that was the only objective left, right? So he scored 2 for getting the battle tactic.
Yep.
If he did it with Manfred, he gets an extra point.
Yep.
He gets a point for killing a monster.
Yep.
And then a point for burning. So he gets 5 points potentially for that. 4 or 5 points, which would put him on either 15 or 16 or 17, right? And then so 17 points. All right, so he got 17 points. So he got the 5 points. So he's on 17. Now, the max that Jonas can score now is 6 points.
A really good point that's been made in the chat is this red objective marker here might be our objective because we do have Kraken Eaters on the board. Okay, would have been lovely to know. Okay, so that is. Well, then we're sorry because we didn't know. So this is still an objective in the centre.
I don't think that's going to matter because even
it's
if
going to
he
be
scores,
worth 8 points.
Yeah, so that's going to put him on 16, right? So he's going to get, and then he gets double battle tactics, puts him on 20 points. Solomon's going to be on 17. He just needs to score 2 battle tactics and he wins.
Whoa!
So all Solomon needs to do is score 2 battle tactics and he wins.
Yeah. Okay. So table 4, we just heard something pretty massive. Marathi, Liara won the priority going into turn 4.
Okay.
She's going to want that. That's pretty exciting. So she's really happy about that. However, on her first spell, she miscast.
No!
Taking a mortal wound, dropping her down to 3 wounds.
Oh, no.
Right, which means...
which means she's going to be able to be killed now.
Which means she could be killed. She could be killed in... but look, she's managed to rally some of the bow snakes back, so she's gone back up to 5, right? So she's been able to do that. And the Ironclad has moved over there, out the way. So it's whether or not we're going to see those bow snakes trying to shoot into the Ironclad, drop it down. We'll find how many wounds the Ironclad has got left.
This is genuinely the most exciting round of Warhammer I've ever covered. With
you. Well, yeah, like all of the games have been insane.
This game is amazing as well because you've just seen obviously Marathi's come back here now to try and stop the Ironclad from killing her. These bow snakes are now screening that 9 inches at least, so that if the Ironclad does fly high, he's only going to get sort of like here.
Mm-hmm. No, because the Ironclad has taken 9 wounds, hasn't got 9 wounds left, but has taken 9 wounds.
Okay.
That's the position we're in with the
So he
Ironclad.
can still fly high, yeah?
Yeah.
So he can probably fly high to here, maybe kill Marathi, but I don't think it's going to matter too much. This is so close.
This is very, very close. This is very close.
But Liara is up on points by 6 points.
Yeah, Liara is up on points, so that is true. Whether or not she'll be able to achieve any battle tactics at this stage is going to be really, really interesting.
Can we see what battle tactics she's done so far?
We can, no problem. Let's go do that.
So she has done Monstrous Takeover, Aggressive Expansion, and I think...
she'll have done one in turn 4 as well, turn 3 as well. We're just waiting for the overlay.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if she's done one of the easier ones. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's still got broken ranks to go. So maybe she can do the run 3 units.
No. She could do
Conquer.
Okay, table 1, big news for Jonas. He needs to make sure he gets this game in here. We've had the priority for turn 5, and Jonas and his Taker Tribe Gargants has got it. He's got the turn, so he's now chosen Broken Ranks, which is to kill a battle line unit. Really simple, really easy one, but he does it with a monster. You get an additional victory point.
Yep.
That's one of those really important bits to talk about. So he's going to go for, he's going to go for that basically somewhere in here. I'm not sure who he's chosen. As
It's going to be the unit of Direwolves just here, right?
It's the Wolves. Okay, it's the Wolves.
I think
objective,
Jonas
just
is
to double check, that objective at the bottom is burnt. The one that the Wolves and the Zombies on are burnt, and isn't. Yeah, so this one doesn't exist. So there's only one objective on the board. That one at the top also doesn't exist. So there's only one on the board. So it's the one in the center. That's the only one available.
Yeah.
And that'll be worth 8 points.
It's going to be worth 8 points to Jonas, which is going to put him on 16 points. Now, if he gets the Broken Ranks with a monster, which he's going to get,
3 more.
That's 3 more points. He'll be on 19 points. So that'll be 19 to Solomon's current 17.
Yeah. With Solomon having one turn to try and achieve a battle
Which
tactic.
then Solomon goes for just something like Savage Spearhead, right?
So he's done aggressive expansion. He's done Monstrous Taker. He's done Ferocious Advance. I don't know what he did in turn 4. Oh, he did bring it down.
Bring it down. He did Broken Ranks, so he's still got Bring It Down to go.
So he's still got Bring It Down to go.
He's still got Savage Spearhead.
Savage.
But Solomon, I think Jonas is going to win. So it'll be 19-17 at the end of this round, and then all Solomon needs to do is score battle tactic here with like Savage Spearhead or something, get it to 19-19, and then Jonas gets 2 points. So it's going to be a 21-19, I think.
Okay, so chat, we're very sorry that we didn't have all the data, but we're trying our hardest in a busy new place. So there were actually 2 objective markers always under the Gargants that they kicked. So actually they always owned those. So they've just scored a big 16 points. So there's 0 chance here for, there we go. Oh, look at that, a respectable elbow bump.
Solomon has played an absolute blinder of a game, considering this game should have been... I actually think Jonas is not done as well as I thought.
So what's happened, right? Look, let's talk about it realistically. The
reason I say this,
he's taken 2 objectives. He's kicked them, and then he's just sat 3 lads on there.
Solomon should never have been allowed this.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair.
Which has actually brought the score a lot closer because it stopped Jonas from getting 8 points. So if the Matrix system that they're using at the event this weekend, Solomon's actually done a smashing job at getting himself a good point. I wouldn't be surprised if we're sitting on this here, so like an 18-2, which actually to get 2 points from that game where it should have been a 20-0.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair because he very rarely is going to get that output. That Graveguard play was really nice.
That was,
he lost the Graveguard. He brought the Graveguard back out the gravesite. He got the charge off. He also charged in here. He's in a really solid spot about that. With that particular.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that game more than I thought I would.
It would be really cool to get some player interviews at some point as time goes on. Whenever would be sweet because it would be fun to see some. Because there's some pretty high-profile players. I know we've got a Darren Watson out there in the world playing some Warhammer. There's a bunch of other people. It'd be fun to see how their games are going so far.
Yeah, definitely.
Because this is actually Age of Sigmar 6 Nations. There are 6 teams playing to be the champion of those 6 nations specifically only.
Yep.
But it's turning into a pretty well-run event. I've got to say, Owen and Dan, the TOs for this year, have really stepped up and put on a pretty amazing event. But it really has to be said that the venue that we're in, Firestorm Games, is
incredible,
phenomenal. It really adds to. I've not been this impressed with the venue since we've done Bobo.
Wow.
Because Bobo's great. It's got big screens. It's in a big university hall. It's really a quality
And let's
place.
not forget that this is a store.
This is a
so
store.
This is here all the time.
Yeah.
So whereas Bobo's a once-a-year event, right?
Yeah.
This is literally here all the time, and you can just come down and play games whenever you want.
It's crazy.
To run this sort of a venue and have it this well, set up is just brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, the last TO was also fantastic and not in any way biased. Right, so table 2, we finished that game. That's all done now. Well done, Archie. Dennis versus Chris. Adam versus Pete. We heard that Adam has started to do some absolutely horrible things to Pete's army.
Yeah.
Look at how it's just demolished. The Salamanders are in, the Stegodons are in, and let's talk about the Stegodons for a moment, because we've been talking about their shooting all the time, but when they finally do what you expect them to do, is charge.
Look at all those melee attacks.
It's really, really good. They've got 2 attacks which are damage 4.
Wow.
Right? The massive horns, which is wicked. They've got grinding jaws, which is another 2 attacks of damage 2. And then the crushing stomps, which I think is 6 attacks when it starts on wounded. And again, those are damage 2. So there's actually a lot of output coming out of the Stegodons.
In Thunder Lizards, do you get the extra choose a star constellation to get the extra
Only
attack?
on the jaws.
So that's, yeah, I mean, like, so I don't know if it's a coalesce thing only, but you choose a star thingy and you get an extra attack on all your monsters. Can Thunder Lizards get that as well?
I actually don't know. It's a great question.
Because that would mean that, let's say this turn, for example, you can activate that, and all of these monsters are getting +1 attacks on all their profiles, and then the Stegodons are getting like sort of +3 attacks, essentially each, which actually steps up their damage a lot.
Oh, loads.
But I don't know if they have access to that or not.
Something that we can find out as we go to our interviewee. We're going to be interviewing one of the Swedish players right now. So Dennis from Sweden, we're going to be getting him in a moment on to talk about his game, which is really exciting. Just to talk to you guys about the other matches as we see them. Well, we'll go to Dennis right now, and we're going to go in, talk to Dennis, over to our table boss, Mark.
Can you hear me now? Excellent. I had the mic off. Schoolboy error. So, good, great work. I'm doing my best. Okay, so so you've had your mirror match against Lumineth. You did really well in that first turn. I mean, you lifted most of his Sentinels. You must have thought you were sort of in control there. How did you feel? How was the game?
Yeah, my thought of the game was if I kill the Sentinels, I will control the game. But I have underestimated how much Teclis does against my army with the teleport. He did turn 1, and so he had after his turn 1 he started to get control again in the game because of the teleport, and then we had a quite equal game until his double between 3 to 4, and that was the game-winning move.
Yeah, that priority seemed really, really important. And yeah, absolutely. Teclis was all over the board. Some say that maybe he's a fox in disguise. We don't know. So how are you finding your current experience of AOS Six Nations so far? You've played your 2 rounds. Are you having a good time?
Yeah, I have a really good time. We have a good venue, a lot of nice people. Have played 2 really good players. So it was really fun.
Excellent. And so you've obviously got the Republic of Ireland, Scotland and Wales left to play. Who are you looking forward to most?
Oh, all 3 of them. I have no favorite.
Is that because you're a Lumineth player, so you're not worried?
Exactly.
Perfect. Dennis, thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you.
Hello, welcome back. Thanks so much, Mark. This game is over, and it's looking like we're in the dying minutes of this round. Try and get you some more interviews in a moment. It was great to hear from Dennis. We'll just grab as many people as we can so you guys can find out who some of these players are and kind of get them some screen time, which is really good. So this game is all over. Our game, Dennis versus Chris, is all over, Archie. Now it's just Adam and Pete, and there's the handshake. There's the handshake.
Good cut there.
Yeah, great cut. It's all over. And unfortunately for Pete, I think Adam just had the numbers. He just had the right army up against him, which I thought was really, really good. And then jumping over to table 4, this is also all over as well. Liara versus Dave. It's all finished. She said that she went in maybe a bit too aggressive. She really enjoyed it, but it was the contents of the Ironclad that did the work. There was so much output in there. You had the Admiral in there. You also had the Aether Chemist. He's also hit and reroll into wound with the Admiral against heroes.
Right, yeah.
So that's really good with like Ren 2, damage 2, so doing some really solid there. So actually, if we look at this round a little
So
bit...
did Liara win?
No, Liara didn't win.
Oh, no.
So
Well done, Dave, then. Because that was a super good game.
Yeah, it was an excellent game. That may be one of my favorite games that we've covered ever.
Yeah, genuinely.
So like that was genuinely very, very fun. To give you guys a kind of a quick score update, England has won. Let me just double check. It's got 5 majors from that round. Yeah, so Steve Curtis, Darren Watson, Dan Bradshaw, Ricky Mee, and Tom Maudsley all on 5 majors, meaning they definitely capped the round. Northern Ireland, on the other hand, though, have got themselves 4 major wins and a major loss at the minute. So King Solomon getting the major loss. But Chris Caves, Chris Archibald, and Stephen Mitchell, so AOS Stephen and Chris Archibald, got themselves a minor there. A major. So with
and then Dave's just about to submit a major as well, right?
Dave's just about to submit a major as well. So that's going to put them on 4 majors at the moment, which is really interesting. So we're just getting these the points. Okay, so we're just double-checking the points between Dave and Liara because it might be very close.
Okay.
Very, very close. And then if we're going to go and talk about Ireland right now, Ireland have got 6 major losses.
So a whitewash from Wales.
From that way, yeah. Wales, then, that means, yeah, of course, with 6 major wins. 6 major wins.
They might have major 100.
Okay, oh, amazing. Okay, over there. All right, so we're going to be getting an interview in a moment with Liara, Sweden's actual, Sweden's champion at the moment.
Yeah.
So it looks like Wales are going to cap that round. So Wales have capped a round, England have capped a round, Northern Ireland
have capped a round again. So all 3 of those. Oh, Northern Ireland might cap this round.
Northern Ireland might cap this round.
But that would mean that Wales and England have both capped 2 rounds, and Northern Ireland have potential to cap this round as well. So it could be 3 teams.
So there really are 3 teams that are really starting to showcase their dominance really in these matches, which is quite exciting. And
England plays both of these tomorrow.
Yes, England plays both of these tomorrow. You guys will see that in
Northern Ireland, Wales next round.
Northern Ireland and Wales are next round.
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, that's very exciting. Yeah. Go Liara. That's it. In Dave we trust. Hello Twitch chat. Hope you guys have enjoyed these matches as we've seen it. They're just going to be working out the points now for this particular match. Pretty exciting round, Adam.
That was incredible. Genuinely incredible. I think that was the most fun that I've had commentating on a round because everything was just mental.
Yeah.
Like some of the tactics just blown me away. It's really showed me that like AOS 3 can be interesting.
Yes. It can be, and it can be pretty wild actually.
It really shows us that like Team Warhammer is the best format for Warhammer, though, right?
Yeah, 100%. We're going to try and get some interviews maybe with the TOs right now while we wait for maybe Liara to finish her match. I know Mark's out there grabbing you some interviewees right now because it'll be fun to see some of those happen.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been really fun. If you look at around the event, it's such a great venue. It's just really, really cool to see such an amazing venue. So, yes, we can, buddy. Just to see such a cool-looking, such a cool-looking venue. I'll try and show you guys. Sorry, everyone. I'm just pressing all the wrong buttons today. There we go. Look at this place. It's just great. Really good. Like, such a good atmosphere as well. Everyone's got their team T-shirts. Okay, excellent. Right, so we're just going to go to the tournament organizer, Owen. One of the tournament organizers, Owen.
Yeah.
And find out right now. Mark's going to ask him how he thinks the tournament is going.
Yeah, that's the camera there, mate. You're lovely. So, Owen, we've got you here. We're at AOS Six Nations 2021. How's it going so far?
Good. Yeah, a lot of work. But everyone seems pretty happy, I think. What do you think?
Well, it's been awesome. I mean, I've been fortunate enough to watch 4 absolutely top-class games of Age of Sigmar with lovely, lovely people. And it's been some really odd matchups. So, obviously, with you being completely unbiased and not affiliated with any of the nations here, no, do you have a particular pick?
I mean, without being unbiased, I would actually say Wales, to be honest with you.
And that obviously is the one complete unbiased opinion because obviously you're Welsh. So, you know, let's call that out now.
I can clarify it, though. I mean, I think that no other team's played as many games as them, I don't think. They're super drilled. They know the matchups. They've got good people to do the pairings. Like, everything's set for them, basically. And yeah, I think just actually a bit of hot goss. I think we've just seen a loss for England, which I think Wales are going to sweep this round. So yeah, my claim that I think they're going to win is backed up by that last result.
There you have it, folks. Exclusive. England have lost a game, and obviously everybody's bitterly disappointed about that. None of us are not rooting for England. I haven't pre-ordered a Team Sweden shirt, for example. But, so other than Wales, who obviously completely non-biased, you think are going to win it, who do you think are the biggest challenges? Is it just England, or are there some other contenders in the pack?
I think after 2 rounds, it's very clear that England, Wales, and the Northern Irish teams are the teams to beat. I really like the setup in the Northern Irish team because you've got 2 really young players, so they're shooting for that win, but they're also looking to bring new, fresh blood through as well. So really respect their approach. But yeah, I think we'll see after round 3. But I do think that much as Rob trailed pre-tournament, that it was England, Wales, Northern Ireland as the potential winners with the other teams a little bit down. I think that's becoming apparent as the games go on.
Yeah, that's great. Also, just to settle one more sort of controversy from the day, Adam Mumford has been known to be moaning quite vividly that he only got a sticker and not a T-shirt. Can you comment?
Yeah, that's true. It's true, and I'm very happy with my decision around that. They're great shirts. He can get one when he comes and helps me organise the tournament.
Excellent. So what are the challenges of organising an event like this, where you've got international teams, guys coming from different countries, obviously from places like Scotland, which aren't close, and I mean, we're blessed to be in such a great venue, but what have the challenges been getting this event sorted?
The main thing is probably the edition change, because obviously we took on, Dan and I, my fellow TO, Dan Arnold, we took on the role of, being organisers when we were in AOS 2, not knowing all the changes that were going to come in with AOS 3. So everything from like the new battle tomes, obviously the complete restructuring of the game, the scoring system, everything needed a bit of an overhaul, and we were kind of making it up as we go along a little bit. Little bit of a side note, like I know people maybe think I'm an established TO, but this is the first ever physical event I've ever ran. I've only ever run TTS events, so the logistics of going from a digital space to a physical space is quite big. But it's fun. I mean, I love Warhammer, and I know a little bit about it. So putting on basically it's like a party or a gathering of people together. I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And how much does having a venue like Firestore Games that we're in right now, how much does that help?
Oh, massively. I mean, the space, the amenities, the way that it's easy to get to, but also, like, if you come into a venue and you're impressed, then it kind of sets a tone, and you want to like do really well for your team, and you want to excel, and also you want to be respectful. And I think like having a really solid venue and really impressive, like people walking in and being impressed and seeing all the flags up and stuff, I think it sets the tone early and sort of paves the way for a really successful event, hopefully.
Excellent. And again, this is an international team, and we have, as we know, the World's coming up. So how does that set this up for something like that? What do you think how that looks for that?
Well, historically, the Six Nations always was a precursor, like a warm-up event for the Worlds. I think now it's established itself as very much a big competitive event of its own. But looking forward to Worlds, I mean, if you just take what we've got here and then you increase it in size exponentially, with more teams, more characters, more armies in a different location, I mean, this feels a bit like I'm getting excited for Worlds now. I'm sure you as the stream team are excited because the potential is massive.
Absolutely. I mean, I love the venue. The venue here is amazing. I know that Rob and Dan in particular are super stoked with their custom-built commentary booth, which is amazing. No expense spared. I mean, so thank you very much, Owen, and have a great event.
Thanks, dude. Take care. You're doing great work. See you later.
See you later.
Great work. Hello, everyone. So that's the final of this round. We've got one more interview to come with Liara, the Swedish champion, who, by the way, just lost her game against Dave, the Northern Irish champion.
Came down to the grand strategy.
Came down to the grand strategies, which is not bad at all. So an exciting round. We've got one more round left today, and then we're going to be live again tomorrow for those final 2 rounds. And like we've said, really started to see some teams pull away from the pack now. And I think Owen's thoughts that we just heard were absolutely accurate. I don't think we've seen as many games played by any other team than the Welsh.
Yeah, the Welsh have been absolutely smashing it.
They've been
the
doing
last couple of months.
They've been doing really, really well. Okay, so we're going to go to our Swedish champ Liara, and we're going to go talk to Matt now, and we're going to go and see how they felt about their game.
Cheers, lads. Thanks for passing me over. So I'm here with Liara. How was that game? It looked mental. It honestly looked mental.
And it was fun. That was. I think we were both kind of mental, and I just went crazy with my my stuff that shouldn't be going crazy. But it was a lot of fun, and I just, really trying to catch that little extra edge. I did go a bit too offensive with my support characters. Sometimes that pays off. This time it didn't. And then I also had really bad luck with the Mind Razor and Morathi killing herself on the miscast. That was just why Morathi? And that actually cost me the game because I would have drawn, or probably I would even won because I would be able to score objectives better. So that was an annoying thing.
Yeah, it seemed it. And you're right, especially with the Marathi thing. Having 4 wounds left and getting that miscast in to take that 1 extra damage. I was like, oh, no. He saw it and you're like, oh. No. But it seemed a really chaotic game. I bet, so coverage-wise, I barely got time to cover the other game because I was so, everything was happening just repeatedly. We all got very confused when he charged the bow sticks into the Thunderers. We were all like, what is going on? Was there reason to that madness? Did you just, you knew they weren't going to do anything to you, or?
I was hoping to do more than I did, because sometimes they can actually do a good thing because I can get the extra attacks in and so on. And I was hoping to more actually, pin them down to avoid them running around and shooting things that I don't want them to shoot, because the snakes could take the punishment more. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to kill enough to keep the objective, and that was a big misplay.
Yeah, for sure. But I guess it's only a misplay if you get it wrong, right? If it had gone right, it's the best things. Yeah. So obviously, the glaring thing is obviously you're the only woman here. How is that as an experience? How is that?
It's great, but I'm used to being the only woman. It's the same thing when I go to tournaments generally. There's a couple, very few more who do play, but they are very much staying local. But in general, I haven't had any bad experiences at all. I'm never ever at an Age of Sigmar event, and that's just amazing. So to me, it's not really an issue. The only thing is it's a shame that I think a lot of women do feel that it can be a bit of a bit of a barrier to get into a boys' club kind of thing. And I'm trying to do my part, and I'm trying to recruit girls into playing more. And I just hope that girls feel that they are welcome, because they are, definitely. And I have felt 100% welcome all the time, and I think it's great.
Yeah, no, exactly, and like you say, and you're proving that the best way by being the best in Sweden. Yeah. That's one way of doing it, isn't it? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So no one can really argue against that. So talk to me a little bit about what it's like in Sweden. Because obviously it's a very different scene here. So is the meta different to what you're seeing here?
So the meta, the thing is, we have 3 major hubs, or actually 4, for the 3 largest cities, and then there's one in the north, in Umeå. So the meta is usually different in different parts of the country, depending on who actually lives there and plays there. So, because for instance in Malmö, where I live at the southern Sweden, we don't have any Sons player, so nobody's playing Sons of Behemoth. It's only for the tournaments, of course, that people bring them, but then they come from up the country.
There's plenty here.
Definitely. So the meta is very, very different depending where you go, and usually in Umeå they have a totally different method than the rest of the country. So it's always a lot of fun to see all these strange things going on. But the coolest thing about this is that you get a lot of unexpected lists, and they can actually do really well because the meta isn't really that solid. And I think it's a lot of fun to have that variety.
Yeah, no, 100% I agree. So do you think that's more or less so in AOS 3 compared to AOS 2? you think it's more diverse or less diverse? It's sort of a loaded question, I know, but yeah.
I want to say more, but unfortunately I'll have to say less. Because you have fewer points to spend now in practice. So what happens is that you can't afford to try new things with those points. You have to do the one thing that works for your army. And you kind of get stuck in those things. And that's why, like, if we look here, almost all the teams are running very similar lists for a lot of the factions because that's what works. So it's a shame, and I wish they had like more variety. I think in AS2 they had more variety because there was more things to choose from and more combos and things like that, and they've streamlined it maybe a little bit too much. Even though the balance might not always be there, looking at you horrors.
So last question. So who is your favorite? So who are you looking forward to play the most, and why is it Team Wales?
Team Wales, so they can.
Good answer.
Yeah, so they can feel beat at home.
Oh, I like that. I like that. They've been called out. That's fine.
Yeah, nowhere is safe. Not where you live.
Right. Cheers, guys.
Wow, what a savage. Liara's fantastic. Like, anyway,
that was a great answer.
That was a great answer. Okay, that's the end of round 2. Like we've said, it looks like another clean sweep for England, Northern Ireland, and Wales. We'll see how some of those matches go. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Adam, thanks for being great. Thanks to our table bosses, especially. Big shout out to both Mark and Matt. We'll see you guys for the round 3 soon. Follow us on Twitter if you want to find out exactly when it's going to be. See you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.